All right. Instead of Saturdays with Sean, it's going to be a live stream of Delta Green Sweetness Part 3, where Part 1 is up, but Part 2 is not. So this will be
Perfect.
interesting if people watch this. I'll take it down after the stream and put it back up when I put Part 2. But for anybody that wants to watch this live, that's up to them. All right. So I figured we would start off. Thanks for making the time, everybody. I know it's not always easy to get up at the crack of dawn, specifically for Hoos and Harrigan that are out on the western side of the U.S. We'll probably take a break this morning and run for 3 hours, depending on where we land. Is everybody good for that amount of time, or do they got to get off early? All right,
3
saying
hours is
nods
good.
and thumbs ups. Okay. All right, I'm going to recap, I think, as best as possible of what happened the last time that we played in Delta Green Sweetness Part 2. And this may be more in the middle to end portion, but I don't know if a lot happened in the beginning. But nonetheless,
A lot of planning.
It was Friday night where Part 2 took off, and it ran into early Saturday morning where we are about to start. Perez joins, or Agent Perez / Agent Tom joins the group, flies into Tampa, and meets up with the rest of the gang. Hank gets a license plate number of Agent Marcus's vehicle, finds out it's a rental vehicle, does some surveillance or gets some video acquired from the hotel cameras, parking lots, to see if there was any leads to Marcus's abrupt disappearance after a very brief briefing. Hank and Dejesus could go to the Bernier house to stake it out as Caneta decides to kind of drive around Tampa for anything that looks unusual, places that have signs of graffiti, to see if there would be any symbols that would match the one that showed up on the Bernier's front doorstep, to really no avail. As things converge on the Berniers, there's a shift change as Dejesus and Hank make their way out to the Berniers to stake it out. Once there, I can't remember if you were all there at the same time, because there was a different
I think the
component.
first police interaction, I think, was just the two of them, and then we showed
Yes.
up, and there was a whole big mess, and then they left.
Right.
And
So to clear up
yeah,
what Edwin's saying is that as Hank and Dejesus were waiting there, they actually realized that there were reflective globes throughout the neighborhood and more dense towards the Bernier house. Dejesus got out of the vehicle to kind of check out one of the ones in one of the neighbors' yards and realized that there was a black shadow that had gone through, kind of across the globe surface towards the Bernier house, when there wasn't an actual person around in the immediate vicinity. A dog walker decides to walk down the street. Hank gets out, tries to shake his hand and feed his dog a donut. And then the other crew shows up, to include Perez, Caneta, and Gladstone. Perez ultimately at some point climbs a tree to get a vantage point on the Bernier house. At the same time, the dog walker's a little bit suspicious. A few minutes later, a police patrol comes through the neighborhood and comes across a Gladstone walking down the street in the middle of the night, looking strangely, the story is, for a ring that fell off somebody's hand and landed in the grass in the neighborhood. Crazy enough, the police actually believe him after some strange story that Gladstone concocts. And there's a refocus on the Bernier house, where Lupita Caneta poses as a pizza delivery driver to try to get closer to the house and more eyes that might be more of a vantage point than even the tree that Perez is sitting in. Ultimately, the patriarch, Timothy, comes to the door, says, "Hey, we didn't order a pizza," gives the mistaken pizza delivery person $40, tells the kind of get on their way, and then he goes back to sleep. As Caneta does that and kind of gathers herself, she sees something go through in the foyer of the Bernier house that resembles something that Dejesus described earlier that had floated across the reflective globe. A shadowy figure, almost, and ultimately a shadow where there is no person. And it looked to have gone downstairs in the Bernier house. Meanwhile, Perez comes down from the tree, goes towards the Bernier house, where he slides down into a window, a deep window well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, to see where the shadow might have gone, and looks inside a young girl's bedroom where she is sitting on the edge of her bed and looking at what appears to be this shadowy figure that two people have witnessed so far. So it's the first time Perez has gotten a view on this. And as the little girl is sitting there, she's moving her hands and what you could probably determine as sign language. And as he drops down to the window, makes a little noise, but nothing really changes immediately until the little girl climbs into her sheets, rolls over, and looks like she goes to sleep as the shadowy figure moves towards a mirror in the room and disappears. Okay. Perez, Gladstone, and Caneta leaves the Bernier house. I think that's where we left off with that group. And then Hank and Dejesus were looking to go back to the Berniers for further surveillance as the sun was probably starting to come up, and missing a jogger by that much as they come out of the Berniers in the early morning hours.
Yeah, we spent the night in the bushes.
That's right.
And then I think it wasn't so much surveillance that we were going to do this morning, but actual conversation. So people were going to pose as police or something and go in, or maybe, and go and try to talk to this girl and maybe the boy about the shadow.
Just not Caneta. She's going to look kind of familiar.
Right.
Correct.
So
she's got to go back to Domino's. She's got work to do.
Exactly.
So I think I had written down
how to make a good living.
She's like $40 doing this.
I think around the 7 a.m. mark, Hank was mentioning wanting to talk to the family with Dejesus, or Dejesus was pushing to talk to the daughter and maybe isolate her from the parents, though he knows that might be a challenge given her age.
But we're also going to run into an issue with her potentially being deaf, so I think the parents are going to have to be there.
Right.
But I think I've got a strategy to talk to the parents first, and then with the brother, with or without parents, and then with a girl, just to gain some information.
Right.
Do I have any? Am I part of this strategy? Just curious.
Gladstone was to pose as a member of school faculty. It doesn't have to be their school.
Yes.
Could be anybody's school.
You should be from a different school or a special unit that is investigating graffiti and bullying.
I try to pull that off. I don't know.
Right.
Teacher, I don't have to act.
Just so you know, though, in 1993, bullying was actually encouraged in North America. So, you know.
Well, that's what the special unit's doing, is making sure it's happening correctly.
Yep. The professor needs to get himself a book on ASL is what he needs to do. Use your library.
There was talks of license plates and checking those through the marshal's office, but I'm not quite sure if that was still on the agenda. So it is the morning of Saturday. It can be as early as 7 a.m. unless there's anything that the members of the group want to achieve or address prior to that hour. Otherwise, we can pick up right there.
I think that's good.
If it's okay, I think I might go grab a few hours of sleep so I'll be prepared for whatever we need to do this afternoon. But if you need me to do something, I'm of course I'm here for you, says Perez.
Lupita nods and says, I'll take you back to the hotel. You don't have a car, do you, Perez? Or do you?
I do not.
Bring me to.
So,
says Dejesus. Okay. I think it's not a very polite hour of the day to be knocking on someone's house. We should come at least 9 or 10 a.m. on a Saturday. And Dejesus, and maybe you, Harrigan, what's your character's name?
Lupita, Caneta.
Caneta. When the interrogators go up there, the principal and the police officer, we can hang back and we can be backup. My cover story would be I was sent here to see the work that was done on the house by that firm that I established connection with earlier. Yep. So if we need a cover and if they need help, I think we should be observing.
A distraction. I got you.
But let's go get some sleep right properties. Now. Yes.
That'll give Hank some time to check in with Chicago PD about Sarah.
I'm trying to straighten out my clothes because this outfit in a sleeping bag doesn't do well overnight.
No.
So are we abandoning ship on watching the house for a little while then? It sounds like it's going to be nobody here.
I think so.
I affirm that.
Yep, I think so too, because it's daylight now. So basically back to the hotel, some folks to get some sleep, etc. Sean, on that license plate, it would be just a quick call that Caneta would make to her marshal friend back at her office, knowing that it's early. So she'd just be like, "Did you get my message last night on your reel-to-reel voicemail machine?" So they may not have the information on that yet, but she would check.
Okay.
I'm also thinking maybe they wouldn't recognize her if she came back, Gabe, to your point, if she put her hat on and her sunglasses, her marshal jacket. They won't recognize her. Maybe.
All right. That sounds like a plan. So up until the next move, which would be to go back to the Bernier house, there's a little bit of rest. There's a call into the marshal service for the license plate, which on a Saturday could leave a voicemail on the machine, and they could probably get back to you on Monday morning and then probably get you the information maybe by the end of the day, Monday, maybe Tuesday, depends on how busy your colleague is. And I think brings everybody, as long as I'm all on the same page.
It's good to know the marshals don't work the weekend, so we're all unsafe on weekends.
It's 8 to 5, baby, unless there's some special investigation going on.
Fugitives roam free on Saturday and Sunday.
One of you, I thought, had a more personal connection with the person you were trying to get information from, like a home number, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Right? Lupita does have, like, her girlfriend works for that marshal's office, so she could call.
But you weren't.
Call her.
That's what I thought.
That's actually who she was calling. She wasn't calling at the regular office. She was calling, and I'll have to look her name up in my notes here.
That's what I thought. That you were calling your girlfriend, and that was that she might be able to go.
She was calling. Yeah, Eloise Martinson, who would Sean kind of go in on the weekend type of thing. Was the idea, and I think Hoos was waiting for information on Sarah as well from Chicago PD, and they do work weekends, so that's good.
All right, Saturday the 17th, which is 3 days away from, I think Carlos Caneta's birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Have you gotten him a gift yet, Caneta?
Well, remember, all this is in her brother's hands to organize the party and everything.
Yeah.
I would imagine she has gotten him. Let's say he's into model trains, and she's gotten him a new train car for his birthday. But that's back, where she lives in DC.
Sure. Okay. And let me see what else I want to check into to make sure I haven't overlooked anything. I think Dejesus. What were you doing? What's going on in Dejesus' life? Yeah, getting married. Guillermo, buddy from grad school, still getting married as far as you know, and the wedding's at the end of August, and then there's a bachelor party that's still going on. Okay.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Nothing pressing for Dejesus.
The most is like his current wife is like he just took off right from the office. I would hope that in one of these interludes here, he had made a call to her and tried to explain things.
Okay.
Very, very important sales deal with the doctors here in Tampa Bay. Got to move those drugs.
That's right.
Yeah,
Tampa, Florida, got to move drugs.
Isn't enough to keep the company afloat.
Oh, I have particular tastes.
Plus, your grandfather was not feeling well. Is that right? Oh, that's Gladstone.
That was me. That was Pappy. Pappy rolling.
Pappy.
So have I gotten I still haven't got a call from Barb yet, right? Because I was
You haven't.
waiting. I sent a message. I was sitting at the bar while we were waiting. Definitely getting a little nervous. It's not like Barb not to call back. So I'll reach out again.
Yeah, when do you plan on doing that?
I know there's a lot of chores on the farm, in the AM. So I'm not expecting her to pick up, but I leave another message telling her I'll be back soon, but please give me a call.
What time do you call her?
I call her bright and early, so it's going to be like 6:30 a.m. and they're going to be out.
6:30 a.m. local time?
No, that would be
calling like 4:30 in Kansas City.
Okay, yes. So it would be 9:30 in Tampa.
Okay.
But I leave another. It's not a desperate message, but like urging, like please just call me.
Sounds like you're gonna probably do that after a little rest as you get back to the hotel and get a couple hours, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, first I want to see if they have one of those waffle making machines, and if it's not broken, because usually they are. But if it's not, I'm gonna grab some waffles.
Looks brand new. The old one was probably broken, and they just replaced it. Yeah. They've got a couple different syrups out, maple and some weird cherry one that looks like.
I always mix the pecan and the blueberry together.
Sam will definitely dig in with gusto. You got to eat when you can eat.
I also want to speak with craft services because they have pork, sausage, and chicken sausage, and I don't see anything on the menu. I'm looking at their lunch menu, and there's no beef or anything on the lunch menu.
Right.
Yes, the common beef sausage.
Which one?
I'm trying to promote it.
As a hot dog.
That's part of my job. I drive coast to coast promoting beef sausage.
That's right.
100% beef sausage.
Hank, did you tell Winslow where you were going? I know you were leaving. You told him you were leaving town, but did you let him know where you were going and to Tampa or hotel? No?
No,
Okay.
I did not.
All right. Okay. All right. So everybody gets a little bit of rest. You get up and still in the same morning. You're getting a little weird jet lag going on because you go to sleep for a couple hours as the sun rises, and then you wake and the sun's risen a little bit more, but it's the same day. So it kind of throws your internal clock off a little bit. Gladstone, you make the call back to Barb, and Barb answers the phone. and she sounds kind of groggy. Probably a little early yet. Still 7:30. I think Kansas time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they're in. I think they're in Mountain Time.
Central.
Jeremiah, are they Central?
Yep.
Kansas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only 8:30 there, so not too bad. But she answers the phone. Jeremiah,
Barb, I'm surprised you answered. I was gonna leave a message.
where are you? What's going on?
I'm in Florida, at the school.
Oh.
I was checking in, last night and during the day, and you didn't call me back. I didn't think there was a big deal, and you could hear it in his voice that he's just like he's shaken up from what's going on now, and just wants to grasp onto something that's kind of normal in his life. And is everything okay with Pappy? I mean, he answered the phone. You're not out with the boys, doing stuff around the farm.
I was at the hospital all night and had to come home and get a little bit of sleep, and I'll probably be going back in a few hours.
Is everything okay, or did you just kind of fall asleep there?
Yeah, no, everything's okay. They're still monitoring and doing some tests. They still can't figure out what's wrong with them, but don't worry about it. I've got things under control. It's all fine. I've
All right,
got
well,
I've got John looking after the kids. So
okay. Well, just if Reggie or Ben, if they don't pick up, what you're not able to handle while you take care of Pappy, just let me know. And as soon as I get back there, I'll straighten them out. I mean, I know
yeah, no,
they
that's
lean on
fine.
you too much.
Where can I get a hold of you? Is there a number that where you're at? I don't
Yeah,
remember what you left me.
call this number. This is one of those new fandangled Nokia cell phones.
Okay.
Call this. If I don't answer right away, I'll call you right back. I swear. Maybe
Okay.
I'll just be giving a speech or something, but I'll call you back. But I'll be
Okay.
home soon. All right.
All right.
I'll see you in a few days after the weekend's over.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll let you know if anything happens.
All right, please. Thank you.
All right, Jer. Click. All right. Meanwhile, I don't know if you guys filter down into the hotel lobby to get some waffles and them cool eggs that they make and some cereal out of the cardboard box, right? That's about as big as.
I was going to say eggs out of the box too.
Yeah, eggs out of the box too.
Yeah.
Big cooler looking thing of orange juice that's bubbling.
with lots of pulp.
Yeah.
It's all pulp. It's just
Right.
it doesn't fit down a nozzle, so everyone in the beginning just gets it strained, and whatever's left is pulp.
Guys eat the food, and it's probably half hour before that. So I think the plan is for Gladstone, Hank, Dejesus, and Caneta. And Caneta, are you going to the Bernier house?
Yeah, we're back up though, right?
But yeah, Dejesus and Caneta are going to hang back.
Right.
Yeah.
But at about
Brett-
8, Hank wants to call Chicago to see if he can get anything on Sarah.
Okay. So before you
Yep.
head out, like the door, Hank's like, hold on a second. He's making a call. He's like on a call, like ready to, or he's on the phone doing something, talking. Hank, you make a call back to Chicago. And who would you call there? You got Sergeant Winslow, who's your buddy.
Right. I just call the front desk and see if anyone can access the personnel records.
You got to go through personnel for that, right? It's not going to be, the desk officer or anything like that. Saturdays, some of those office people are in the office. HR people are probably not working, but you manage to get into somebody that happens to be in the office. And they say, okay, and you happen to know them, and they say, oh, Hank, all right, what's their info?
Did we get a last name?
Sarah Garrison.
Sarah Garrison, that's right. Okay. So just want to do a check on Sarah Garrison.
Do you have a driver's license number or anything, Hank? Date of birth?
Do we have a date of birth in that?
I think you'd probably have the date of birth. Yeah.
Okay.
So you give her the date
Yeah,
of birth.
former
she's like,
Chicago
okay.
PD, and just ran into something, and I want to check on why she left the force.
Sure.
The
Let me
chief has
see.
me on this strange retention bent. He wants to understand why people are leaving.
The chief does?
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I'm working on Saturday.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. All right. You sound so far away. It's like weird. Are you like something wrong with your phone?
No, it's this damn cell phones.
Oh, you got a cell phone? Woo, fancy pants.
Yeah, well,
How you like it, Hank? You even know how to turn that thing off or turn it on?
I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I hear
Sometimes
that. I hear that about it. I heard it like gives you like brain cancer. Is that true? You can't keep it too close to your ear for too long.
He just chuckles.
Let me see what I could do. When do you need this info by? Right now, I'm just pulling her up and it comes up with her name and info, but nothing too much. What kind of info are you looking for?
Just the reason she left the force.
Let's see, Sarah Garrison, 46, African American female, was with us for quite a few years. Let's see. Not seeing anything unusual. A couple case files she was involved in. It doesn't. It's strange. It doesn't say. Usually, if like there's a retirement, there'll be a retirement or some type of discharge, but it just says her end date with the force. I don't know. It's really odd.
All right. Could you send the record over to Winslow?
Sure, I could do that. Yeah.
All right.
Is he expecting it or?
No, I'll let him know. But I'm not currently in town. But I'll let him know, and he can do some of the legwork for me.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. No, I'll get it over to him. Don't work too hard. It's Saturday. Make sure you try to get some me time, I guess.
Yeah, and I need to get off this phone so my brain doesn't get cancer.
That's right. That's right. Be safe. Be safe, Hank.
All right.
All right.
Thanks
Talk
again.
to you later. Yeah, you bet. Bye.
All right. So let everybody know there's nothing immediate on Sarah Garrison.
Okay. All right. You guys head over to the Bernier house.
Yeah, I imagine I'll head over with the backup crew. Also, no reason to sit around the hotel.
So everybody's going over there. 2 cars? 1 car?
2 cars.
Okay.
Lupita's got
All
the
right.
Crown Vic and her styrofoam cup of coffee that she's drinking.
The little
I have
stick
my
in
keys
the
for the Camry, and
Yeah.
no one follows me to my car, and then I put them back in
You
my
go alone.
pocket, and then I go back to one of the other 2 cars that we're taking.
Oh, hey, you guys gonna come? Oh no. Oh, all right. Yeah, sounds good.
Hey,
Okay.
anyone? No, all right.
Oh,
I'll
cool.
sit in the back. Yeah, I got it.
All right, drive over there. It's on your drive over, the streets are a little less populated. It's a Saturday morning, and the city isn't all in full shopping mode to go to their Saturday events. And you make it into the somewhat quiet, almost suburbia Tampa neighborhood. And as you can see now, things that you saw in the night, now you see obviously clear as day, as the sun is bright and shiny and a clear day. And then you notice some of the globes are a little bit more prominent in the daylight from when you had seen it previously, but nothing too crazy. And every once in a while, as you drive down the neighborhood, There might be a dog walker, a couple people jogging. Nothing too crazy. It's still relatively quiet. Down way at the other end of the street, you might hear a faint lawnmower fire up, and that's the annoying guy in the neighborhood who cuts his grass at like 7 a.m. before anybody's awake. Where do
Who
you
was it
park your
that,
cars?
Who was it that went driving around the neighborhoods? Was that Dejesus?
That was Lupita.
Lupita.
To get the lay of the
uh,
land. Yeah.
Yeah. Caneta, did you see Agent Lark, I guess, I don't know. Did you see like a print shop, Kinko's or something when you were driving around?
Sean, you want me to roll luck or yes or no?
You're looking for a Kinko's or a photocopy shop?
Print shop. Yeah.
Yeah, back then you could probably even find ones that aren't big, huge conglomerates. Probably even.
She just nods as she sips her coffee. She's driving one-handed. She's like, yeah, what do you need it for?
I was thinking I could get a bunch of lawn maintenance flyers printed up and go door to door and see if anyone wants to hire, my lawn company. At least we'd get a look in all the houses on the block Saturday morning. People will be home. See if there's any other signs on the doors or other things like that.
It's a good idea. She will divert Sean to the one that she remembers that's at least partially on the way, so they don't have to go too far out of their way.
Okay.
Yeah, I can walk. I'll get the stuff printed up and walk over. It sounded like it was only like a mile between the hotel and this neighborhood anyway, or am I making that up?
Couple miles.
It's a little, it's like a 10-minute drive. I think it was a little bit.
Okay, so I'll get it printed
July
up
in
and then
Tampa is a little humid if you're gonna walk a few miles.
You're gonna start
Yeah,
pitting.
well, we got a soldier here. She's all right.
That's right.
Soldier grew up in Mexico. I think she'll be all right.
So we're dropping Perez off.
Yeah, why don't you drop me at the print shop and then I'll just show up, when I get there and start leafleting the neighborhood.
Good enough.
All right. So Perez is at the print shop. You guys continue to go to the neighborhood, knowing they go back up and pick up Perez. Or are you gonna wait?
I think Perez is going to walk right from the print shop.
I'm gonna walk
so we're going to go to we'll go to the neighborhood. However, not too early, right? I forget what time we said, but it wasn't going to be 7 a.m., right?
No,
like 9:30. Yeah.
9:30 had breakfast. You're there exactly when you want to be.
Okay. Or 5 minutes later because of the diversion to the print shop.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lupita will park not right in front of the house. Who's in her car? Let me ask that. She had Perez.
I imagine that Dejesus is because you and I are hanging back.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not with the
So
professor.
Hank's driving the other car.
Hank's driving the other car? Yep. So, yeah.
And we'll park right in front of the Bernier residence.
Yeah.
So even if
we'll
Perez
park
gets
way down
out,
the block.
Yeah. Perez gets out, I'm still sitting in the back seat of Hank's car. I don't go to the front seat, so he's just driving me around.
So odd. Guys in the back seat, Hank's in the front. Hank probably doesn't think anything of it. It's just like another perp in the back seat.
Lou, are you my daughter? She likes that. Getting chauffeured.
My son does the same thing.
Yeah, like what the? Get in the front.
My kids fight over the front seat.
Ah, nice.
Hank probably turns around and says, "Don't you get sick in my car."
It's a rental. That deposit is expensive.
All right.
I'm just happy that I'm with like the police officer now, the investigation types.
Yeah.
All right.
Lawman.
So Ankle pull up and get out. And wait for
I go to get out and the child locks on. And I start knocking on the window.
He'll open the door.
I bet the child lock wasn't on. Just couldn't figure it out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
Wishbone.
2 steps behind Hank wherever he goes. Like I'm not too
Okay.
close to be like in his peripheral, but I'm following.
Such an ass.
Hank is gonna not get in his grill, but he's gonna like get close enough to whisper and say, for a special unit that's investigating juvenile bullying and graffiti and the links between them. You're
Excellent.
a school official for the Department of Education, and we're just going around gathering some information about this particular incident in order to work on a nationwide database.
Okay.
So
Got
it's
it.
not necessarily a law enforcement operation. We're merely information gathering. We don't have a warrant.
Got it.
You gonna write that
Crystal
down,
clear.
Gladstone? You gonna write that down?
Oh, like a trap,
Okay.
steel trap right here.
All right. All right. You
All
guys can walk up the driveway if you want.
Well, the driveway has a gate, so we're using the pedestrian.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a pass.
Yeah. No problem.
So walk up the door, give a strong law enforcement knock, and then notice that there's a doorbell and ring the doorbell too.
Doorbell goes off. And inside from the back, past the foyer, comes a gentleman. He's wearing shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops. Looks to be the picture of and the face of Timothy Bernier. Walks up to the door. He looks a little tired. Might not have got a lot of, might have had an interruption in his sleep for some reason. He's got a little bags under his eyes that are a little prominent today. And then you see a woman that's walking in the back as well, who's kind of looking out towards the door as Tim approaches it. But otherwise, you don't see anybody else. And he opens the door and he's, yes, can I help you?
Good morning, Mr. Bernier.
Yes, I'm Tim Bernier.
Hi. My name's Williams, and he'll flash his badge real quick. I'm with a special unit out of DC. We're investigating juvenile bullying and graffiti and the connections to build a database to try to solve some of these nationwide issues. And I'd like to perhaps talk to you, your wife, and your children about this incident. And he'll kind of point to the door.
Oh, you're from what? Where are you from? I'm sorry.
I just interject, like I shove my hand. I'm like Professor Gladstone. His hand is so sweaty. I'm wearing a sweater vest in July in Tampa. Sweat is just pouring down my head, and I'm like, yeah. I work on a commission, principals, high school principals in the area, and we're working with an agency to. We heard about the incident with the graffiti, and we just wanted to see if we could, talk to other high school age students in the area or children in the area, middle school and younger, just to take surveys on what goes on in their school.
Okay. And you hear the woman in the back, Tim, who is it? Who's here so early? Looks like law enforcement, and it's nothing serious, Evelyn. Don't worry. Yeah, come on in. He opens it up. Gladstone, give me a persuade check with a +20. He's like, okay.
It was with a with a plus. That stings.
So you would have still you failed by only 4. It looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. He brings you in, and Tim looks at both of you and says, "How? So you're a principal, an academic, and then you are in law enforcement. Is that?"
Yes, sir.
Do I
And
have
we're
this
just
right?
here to gather information. Perhaps I would like to interview everybody in your family and just talk about what's happening at school, especially, say, the week leading up to this event.
Oh, yes, of course. And then at that point, the woman walks in, Caucasian white female, looks to be about age 42, and you recognize her to be Evelyn. And she says, "What's this all about?" And then you kind of probably go through the same rigmarole, but she said, "Oh yes. Well, it's not. You're here for the the door. What was on there?"
Yeah, I've read the police report, and there's really not a whole lot of information in there, but um, we've been tasked with sort of figuring out some of the causes of juvenile bullying and the connections to graffiti and gangs. I'm not saying there's any gangs involved in this at this point, but I would just like to interview you to collect some information. We're trying to figure out how to build a database so it will help local law enforcement with these issues nationwide.
Can I make a human check to see if I am getting the gist that they are believing us, or if it's
Sure,
getting weird?
absolutely. You can get a plus 10 on Tim, straight roll on Evelyn.
So I'm going to roll twice. Okay, so that was for Tim.
Yeah. So he seems relatively bought in.
Okay.
Or let me rephrase that. He is kind of on the fence with you, obviously, and then the woman is like she's oh yeah, and she starts talking and says, I think something's going on. I don't know if it's because I'm white and Tim's black. I don't know if that's the issue here, but I would really like to get to the bottom of this. And the local police have done almost nothing. They've taken some notes, and I call to find out what's going on, and they don't give me any information. They just say they're stepping up patrols, and I really would like somebody to get to the bottom of this.
Well, ma'am, I mean, we're not local law enforcement. This is a nationwide program. I mean, in the future, perhaps.
So it's been escalated. Great. That's wonderful to hear. I'm glad.
So I would just like to talk to you two about what's been happening at school for both kids.
Sure. I guess I could see if the kids are awake. I think
Well, I'd like to talk to you separately, and then with you and each kid kind of separately, just to make sure that we get information from the individual standpoint as opposed to like a group, because a lot of times memory is easily influenced, and so we want to make sure that we get the base information.
all right. Give me a persuade roll, Hank. Tim's like separate. I don't know. Is that necessary? And Evelyn's like, Tim, I don't think it's a problem. That we're here at the house. It's not like they're taking him into an interrogation room. He's like, he looks at the professor going like, I don't know.
So I'm like,
Hank's
man,
gonna pull out a
it's
handkerchief.
it's unnaturally hot. It's can I use your restroom?
Yeah, sure. And he's down to right around the corner on the right.
Just before Gladstone gets up, Hank's gonna squeeze his knee.
Okay.
I'll be quick. I'll be quick. I'm going through everything I possibly could think that could be a cop thing for, and I'm not sure. I'm like, does that mean stay? Does that mean keep my guard up? Does that mean get my back? I don't know what that means, but I continue. Like I go and I lock eyes, and I think I know what he means.
Okay.
So, so I go down observing. So now, as I'm walking down this hallway, getting out of sight of everybody, where am I relation to this basement room?
So you would be on the, so if you're looking at from the front door, there's the living room on the right hand side, and then the next room next to it would be the bathroom.
Okay.
And so
So back
relation,
here somewhere is stairs to down to the basement.
no, you'd have to go
Presumably, no.
back the other
Oh.
way towards the
Okay.
yeah. So if you wanted to go downstairs, you would go front door straight and a little off to the left or to the right, and then there's a stairway that goes down.
So I'm gonna accidentally open a couple, whatever, if there's any other doors over there, even a closet, like very slowly, or maybe I open the bathroom and the closet at the same time, thinking I'm smooth, and go in the bathroom. Just again, it may not amount to anything, but I'm snooping slightly.
So if you go past the bathroom, there it kind of goes off to the in an L shape. It goes around to the left, and there's a few bed that you could see that there are bedrooms down that hallway, and then there's a corner room before taking that left.
Okay.
So there's a room in the corner of the house, and then back to the left are
So
the
I'll
bedrooms.
walk slowly down. I'm not going to open any bedroom doors, but I am going to listen
Okay, so
as I'm tiptoeing.
as you get down towards that corner, right, you hear vroom, 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 and
Someone needs to fix that fan.
it's you probably realize it. You get to right around the corner, and there's a door, and you it's coming from this particular room, and you kind of crack it open, and you can see the dryer going around and around.
Okay.
As it gets a little louder as you open the door. It's fairly small. And then there's a bedroom across the hallway, and then there seems to be a master bedroom at the end of the hallway.
That's it. I'm gonna, if that's the only thing I hear, I'm gonna like tiptoe back to the actual bathroom.
Okay.
Go in the bathroom.
As you're going back to the bathroom, then you realize in the corner there's like a workout room. There's like a treadmill, some weird like futon in there. Not weird, just a futon, treadmill, a couple of free weights, and a yoga mat lying on the floor. And then you go back into the bathroom on which would be your left now that you're coming back.
Okay. So
Otherwise, it's relatively. There is no sound other than the dryer down that part of the house. As Gladstone's in the bathroom, Hank, what are you doing?
So just trying to get the wife, Evelyn. So Evelyn, can you tell us what's happened at each kid's school over the last week leading up to this?
As far as I know, nothing really. It's the kids haven't reported anything to us. Catherine goes to quite a reputable school, and there hasn't been any issues or problems that normal young preteens are dealing with. That's why we put her there because, well, she has special needs that they can cater to her about. She's deaf. So I probably should have mentioned that. So she goes to the she's fluent in the American Sign Language, and she goes to and attends the Tampa Language and Learning Center for the deaf.
Sorry, do you mind if was she deaf at birth, or was there an injury?
No, she was born hearing impaired Tim interjects. He seems to settle down with Gladstone out of the room. It's like, is he part of your task force or?
It's the Washington, D.C. bureaucrats put him on here. He's an academic and was a principal at one point in his career, and he's the kid specialist. So,
okay.
He's harmless, if not a little sporadic. But
yeah, I mean, he seems a little nervous and very sweaty. It's hot outside, so maybe Evelyn, you think we should get him some water? She said, "Oh yeah, of course we'll get." Did you want anything, officer? Is it officer or agent? I don't know.
Well, I am a police officer, but I'm on the special attachment. You can just call me Williams. That's fine.
Williams, okay, Williams.
I turn on the lab faucet all the way, full bore, like hot and cold, to get it as loud as possible.
Okay.
I take out my phone and I call Dejesus, my buddy.
Ring, ring, Dejesus, your phone's
out in
ringing.
The car.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going out there?
It's all clear.
It's all clear. You guys are still out there in the car? Did Perez get back yet?
I look out the window, looking for Perez. Do I see?
Perez probably at the end of the street.
Yep, Perez here.
Walking.
All right. We're talking to Tim and his wife, and well, not us, but Hank is doing his thing.
What's the report?
I'm calling you right now. What's the report? So we're talking to them. Maybe if you guys want to check out the basement or something, but we have them totally occupied. I'm about to go out there right now and engage them again, but I just figured I would go out and let you guys know what's going on the inside.
All right, I'll pass this on to Lupita. Thank you, Agent.
Okay. And wait, hold on. And you hear him flush the toilet. And
1990s toilet, big and loud.
3.5 gallons.
50 gallons of water.
I shut the faucets off, and okay, I put it away. I'm done already. I don't want them to hear me talking, and I exit.
They got some mints. They got some mints in the shell right on the toilet tank. Gladstone.
Oh, that's weird.
That's sanitary.
That is.
They're not
all these poopy particle stories. I don't want to eat those.
They look like the white chocolate shells, like
I know.
shells.
Yeah, they're like the mottled ones. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna touch them. It'll just melt my hand. I'm so sweaty and warm right now. So I exit the bathroom and I just walk straight back. Like I'm proud that I let the others know.
Dejesus passes on to Agent Lark. Agent Lark, I'll totally defer to you on this one. You are better at these kind of operations. I'm just a businessman, but this was what our esteemed colleague suggested, is that we go do some surveillance, perhaps even enter while they have the parents occupied. It's up to you.
Agent Lark is finishing her second coffee because of the little tiny styrofoam cups, the small ones. And she goes, "That's not the plan. That's not what we agreed to do. We're supposed to be the backup if they weren't successful at getting inside. We're not going to break into the home with the kids unaccounted for. If we're no. Who is this? The professor who called you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just sit tight."
Agreed.
Caneta, you see in the rear view Perez coming up the street. Probably has a folder in her hands.
She's going door to door already.
Perez, are you doing that?
If I'm at the end of the street there, I'd start. Yeah.
So what does your flyer say, Perez?
He posted it.
It's in the chat. It's hilarious.
Oh God, I don't think I can pop over there without screwing things up.
I feel like it's maybe more 80s than 90s, but
Commercial and residential Perez Lawn Care Service Incorporated. Quality lawn care, reliable, safe, and clean.
That's right.
It's good stuff.
A phone number to call for rates.
Yeah.
Which I will have you know is the actual number for Perez Lawn Care. You can check
Oh,
out their
that's
website.
awesome. That's awesome.
Don't say that in the chat or
There'd
online.
be serious confusion going on.
Yeah. I didn't put their
You want-
website on because it seemed a little, a little too
Yeah.
modern. But
Okay, so lawn care.
yeah,
All right. You're probably you get to the Bernier house. You're gonna walk up to the Bernier house and put one in their mailbox, or
so my
Or their
plan
door?
is to knock on every door, probably except the Bernier house, and actually give a little elevator pitch. Hi, my brothers and I are starting this lawn care service, and here's the things we can do, and it's we'll show up on time, we'll be out of the way, and keep your lawn looking great. And if you're interested, please give us a call. And I'm really trying to just get a handle on who lives in the people, and if any of them actually get chatty and friendly, I might ask them about the glass globe in their lawn.
Hmm.
Hey, I noticed a bunch of the neighbors have these glass globes here. Do you have a problem with birds, or like what's maybe we can help.
there's a neighbor to the Berniers right next door on the right-hand side as you face the Bernier house. You get to that one, and there's a woman. She's probably about mid-60s. She probably looks about 50, but she's older. You could tell. So probably takes very good care of herself and looks fairly presentable at the time of the hour of the day. And she's fairly tanned and well-to-do, and kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, regarding the lawn, I have my own service, but I do
Okay.
appreciate you coming by. Speaking of those globes, yeah, the strangest thing," she says, it was landed on my doorstep, and it had I had a tracking number. I called FedEx because I thought they delivered it to the wrong address. It was mine on the label, just really odd, and came from the Chicago area. And I thought it was nice, and they didn't want to take it back, and I couldn't. There was no. FedEx just said it was from Chicago. I didn't get there wasn't an address of origin or a company, and I thought maybe some big, they got this e-commerce thing going on online nowadays, and I thought somebody might have sent it to me by mistake, but I didn't know what to do with it. It looked nice, and I didn't want to throw it away, so I just put it out on the lawn. And the funny thing is, like a couple others, it's just strange. I mean, I didn't think anything of it, but it's really, now that you bring it up, it's, I mentioned it to Thomas across the way, and they put theirs out like a day or two after mine, and because we happened to get something that was similar. I just struck up conversation when I was taking out the garbage that day, and oh my God, the garbage! These guys, I wish they would just show up at a consistent hour every time. And they'd come in the morning, they come in the late, and if I don't put it out there the night before, I don't get my garbage picked up. It's atrocious. But I was talking to Thomas that one day, and he was putting it out because he was putting it out early as well, and I just happened to run into him, and he said this is strange, but he said the same thing. And I thought, well, just maybe there was like some promotion from this company that they were putting these things out, and they just wanted to see if we would like them or something like that. Or because he doesn't remember ordering one at all. And he checked with his wife, and it was just, the oddest thing. He calls his husband his wife, but that's, I like them as neighbors. They're good people. And so Thomas and Wayne is his name, and they've been there for a few years now. And and then he asked Wayne, hey honey, did you get this? Did you order this globe? And he didn't have any recollection of it, and they didn't know what to do with it, and they didn't think it was actually that bad. Look, I actually put mine out and thinking that if they thought it was ugly, I'd probably throw mine away too. But we found, I thought it was fine. And well, sweetheart, it's just, if they make the neighborhood look good and I can make the neighborhood look good, then well, we should all just do it. And so that was it. And it was just really odd. You sell these? I mean, do you know even what they are? I think they're just lawn ornaments, but do they like attract birds, or do they, keep them away? I don't even know.
Yes, ma'am. I think they're often used to keep birds away, but
Really?
that's
That's funny
very
because they don't
interesting.
really do that. They don't. Then it doesn't really work.
Well, yeah, it's like
I
most of
noticed.
these things, I guess. They just, but it does look nice on your lawn. Absolutely. I'm sure and I sort of look at it as if I were professional. I was like, yeah, it looks like looks like your service does a good job moving it when they come through to mow. That's important. You got to keep it, you want to not leave it in the same place. Otherwise you'll end up with a dead spot on the, on the lawn, and you don't want that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Mo's. We use Mo's mowing. Mo's mowing. Yeah, they're really good. And they told me about that. They mentioned that exact same thing. Like if you keep things in the same spot, like bird baths and ornaments, and you don't move them, they get brown underneath. And so I try to move it around a little bit. And I was thinking about come here. And she goes out, like goes past you, closes the door behind her. And she's like, what do you think about putting it out here where, like, in this, I have this tree here. It's been here for years. I love it. It does a lot of nice shading here, and it's got a lot of mulch around it. I was thinking about just putting it in the mulch, but then it might not stay steady, and it might fall over, and I don't want it to break. I mean, even though it's, I didn't pay for it, I still think it's nice, and I don't want it to break, and then I have to clean the glass out of the mulch, and that's all an ordeal. But, I didn't.
Sure.
Sometimes
do you have a lot of birds in the tree?
Well, I mean, we get occasional, sparrows and some, native birds of Tampa that come by. Not the flamingo. That's Miami, sweetheart. Are you from here? Are your business is right here in Tampa?
Our business is right here in town. Yeah, absolutely, ma'am.
Oh, okay, excellent. How long have you been in business for?
About 6 months. We're just starting out here.
Oh, just starting out. Well, probably got one lawnmower and just hitting the road with it. Are you?
Well, we got a little more than that, but yes, we have a full trailer with all the equipment and stuff. So we're
excellent. That's fantastic. You got to have a trailer. You got to haul your equipment in. You got to have your gasoline and all that stuff. I mean, I've seen these guys come up with their trailer. Mo's is awesome. They've got a couple crews and they do a lot of these lawns. Look at the edging on this. It's fantastic, wouldn't you say?
It's very nice, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, if you ever need anything, and I hand her the flyer. We'd be
flyer,
absolutely
and she
more than
reads
happy
it.
to.
What's the name of the business on the flyer?
Perez Lawn Care.
Perez Lawn Care. Oh, are you Perez?
Yeah, me and my brothers.
Oh, it's a family-owned business.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, good for you. I like the entrepreneurial spirit, and if it's, just starting out, I wish I could give you some business, but, I really don't have a reason to leave Mo's at this point. I mean, look at this edging, and they do the weeding, and they come out with the garden, what do they call it? Insulation. And it was really fantastic. I used to have such many dandelions in this place, and then you hear this chirp. Oh my gosh, that's Buddy. Hold on a second. I better go get Buddy. And she goes, are you I don't know. Are you busy? Like, should I get you something to drink? I don't know. I don't usually have people come up to my house and go door to door nowadays. I thought that was a thing of the past. Those door to door salespeople and, selling encyclopedias back in the 80s. Did you ever have anybody do that? That was crazy. I can't even believe they did that at one point. Yeah, but this is good.
Well,
Good.
this is
The
great.
payment,
Thank you.
it's good grassroots effort. That you got to get customers, and sometimes Yellow Pages, they say they're going to go bye-bye with this new internet thing that's out there now.
Well, we'll see, ma'am. Yeah,
Hey, Buddy,
Buddy. I like to see the
calm down,
lawns
Buddy.
if we're going to talk
This
about
is Buddy, and she pulls out a little terrier. It's got a little bow in the hair, and this. She's like, people give me grief because Buddy's a boy, but I put a little bow in there, and I think he looks think he looks cute. Now, Buddy, this is Miss Perez, and she does lawn care. So now be nice because hey, do you do dog waste? Maybe you could pick up. I could maybe hire you for picking up Buddy's waste. Is that possible? He poops all over the place, the little bugger.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be part of the service. Would be coming in and cleaning the lawn. Absolutely, ma'am.
Oh, I see. Mo's won't touch that with a 10-foot lawnmower. 10-foot lawnmower.
Yeah,
but they just run that sucker right over, and they say it's good for the
Really?
lawn, but I don't really believe them. I think they just don't want to pick it up.
I can see that. Yeah, no, that's absolutely something. I mean, I make my brother do it, obviously, but
Oh, of course,
we
yeah, right. Why
absolutely
would
do
you want
that.
to do it? Tell your brother to do that. Yeah. Is there a big age difference between you and your brother? I should get some coffee. Do you want some coffee? I got a
Well,
whole
thank you,
pot.
man.
I'm about
I really
halfway
need to finish
through.
the. I got to finish the neighborhood, man. We
Are you
got
sure?
a lot of these flyers
Well, you got a
to
lot
hand
of
out.
foot. You got a lot of foot a lot of distance to go. If you need any, stop by. I'd be more than happy to give you a coffee.
Thank you so
I
much.
really
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
it.
man. That's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, I'll let you go. Now, come on, buddy. And she puts the dog down on the ground, and the dog wants to turn around and barks at you. Now, stop it. That's not nice. Cut it out.
I'll
And she says,
back
"Okay,
away.
well, I guess I'll let you go. Have a nice rest of your day. I gotta go get some
You
more
too, man.
coffee because I haven't had enough. Ha! I've only had 6 cups this morning, so what's the 7th?"
Yeah. So I take off.
Okay. You guys in the car get probably just catch this out of the side or a weird mirror angle, which seems like, oh, Perez is talking to a woman's talking to him.
Yeah.
And then you look probably at the Bernier house and forward a little bit. And then all of a sudden you look and you're behind, she's out on the lawn with a dog talking, by like this tree, and Perez is standing there trying to like interject, and she's just like, blah, 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 blah. You could hear her, like you could hear the pitch of her voice carry over towards the car. And then eventually it gains your attention. And then eventually she goes in the house, and Perez probably walks away from there.
Yep. Man. Well, that was good. I'll stop at the car because I recognize them, and I'll sort of hand them a flyer. And as I do, I'll pass along the information about the glass balls, and then I'll, sort of nod once or twice. Yeah. So I don't know if you got
Came
anything
from
else. I'll just keep
Chicago.
doing the
Did you hear
neighborhood.
that? Sounds like
Chicago,
Sarah Garrison. It's all zeroing in on her.
yeah. And they came, and apparently the Berniers also. Oh no, it was the other neighbor that came unasked for. So I don't know if Tim's if they ordered it or what. But I'll ask the other neighbors and see what the story is. Maybe on the other side of the Berniers, they'll say that the Berniers one that they talked to him about that too, or something.
That woman seemed very talkative. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. If we ever need somebody to, if we need to hire somebody to just talk, maybe for whatever reason, I would definitely nominate her.
Finish your route and everything, but if we need to, maybe she's the Snoopy type and snoops around. She might know more about their door, or she might be keeping
That's
an eye
possible.
on the house. We can leave that as
that's
a
possible.
only if we need to talk to her, but she might know more than some of these other neighbors.
Well, yeah, that might be
Lupita,
good. Harrison could go. Sorry, Hank could go and talk to them also, just as part of the task force.
yeah, she might have seen something.
Yeah.
Sean, Lupita is going to look out her driver's side window. Does every single house in the neighborhood, now that it's daylight, do they all have the globe?
They don't. They seem more as you go further away from the Berniers. There's less and less, and even a couple doors out from them, there's none. There's different lawn ornaments, but not the globes.
She puts her power window, pretty snazzy. Puts her power window down. Takes a while. Big car. She leans out and looks down the street the other way. Same thing. So is it sort of like the Bernier house is like ground zero? And
Hank
there are
inventory.
fewer and fewer. Yeah.
Hank inventory
there's
down
like
along with colors.
Each neighbor immediately to the left and right seem to have one across the street, directly across the street, and then across the street to the left and right. And then it kind of trickles off. There might be one, to 2 doors down, and then there isn't any, and then same on the other side.
Yeah.
There's even one you notice as you take a quick closer look and hone in on that. There's one place that has 2 of them in the yard.
Oh, I'll definitely ask them about it. That's crazy.
Well, they probably had one of their own, and then they got a promo.
I was thinking that, or either the neighbors who didn't want to put theirs out gave it to their neighbor or something. We got this. We don't want it. You want it?
And it'll take us an hour to discover that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, these guys next door they gave it to us. But let me talk to you. Oh my. and sorry, just remind me, the Berniers do have one, right?
No.
Yeah. No.
That's why I ask.
Okay.
They do
good.
not.
Yeah.
They do not. Okay. It's like a
Remember,
funnel.
they're witch
Someone's
globes.
built-
They
yeah, someone's built a
protect. They
funnel.
protect houses.
Yeah.
So the spell has been cast on the Berniers alone.
Yeah, it's a
and
funnel.
they didn't want any collateral damage, right?
That's nice. I like that.
Actually, in my notes, it said the Berniers have a yellow ball. Is that not the case?
I stand corrected.
They
Oh, the
they
theory
do-
is the theory is exploded.
they did have a ball. That was the first one I wrote down. Was they had the ball. So
Dejesus thought they didn't. I didn't see one. I didn't see one.
It's just a different color. Okay. But we can let Perez go on her way to finish her canvassing.
All right.
Well, thank you. Thank you. If you know anyone who needs lawn care, let me know.
Pull up the windshield wiper, stick it in there, snap it to the windshield, keep walking. All right. Caneta and Dejesus, are you guys doing anything special yet? Just still hanging loose to see if you get called from a bathroom of the Bernier house again?
Yep, that's the plan.
I think, as depending on how much time goes by, Caneta will give Eloise a call back in DC to see if she got the, we don't have to cover it, but she will sort of try to push along the review of the license plate. But
Okay.
we don't have to, like I said, we don't have to spend time on that.
Sure. You get a voicemail. Get the voicemail machine.
I know one thing we can do, actually.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
No, go ahead, Harrigan.
She'll, to Dejesus, Agent Lark says, I'm going to do just a quick circuit. But what she's going to do is drive like around the block and see if the globes are the same thing on the other side, the back-facing houses. You know what I mean? So is there like complete coverage for these globes, and try to find out if it's truly localized to just their house and their immediate neighbors type of thing. Now that we're in daylight, we can probably see like down various streets, so we don't have to cover every grid. We can just kind of do a visual inspection, and then she'd bring the car back to where she was parked before.
Go around the block and go to where you believe is directly behind the Bernier house. And of course,
Correct.
they butt up against another house. And you see there are pieces, like that house specifically, there's pieces of broken glass that are in the grass along the curb. You would deduct that possibly it was out there and fell over and broke, or possibly it was left behind when the garbage trucks came by, and maybe they didn't get all of the material, or it was, the garbage truck dumped it and that glass was there. But there's definitely remnants of a broken globe similar to the one seen in the neighborhood. And then to the left and right of that house are also ones in the lawn, different colors and in different positions, but there are globes there.
We'll park by that house with the broken glass. It's like by the curb, right, in the gutter kind of thing.
Correct. Yep. It kind of sprinkled out on the street a little bit, and then some right in the grass.
She's just gonna cock her head and look and say, "Do you think this is the way in? Or these shadows?"
No, I did. Now that I realize that there's a yellow globe outside of the Bernier's house, that they're protected. Our research indicated that these were witch balls. They protected houses, didn't they? From
That's what I remember them. That's what I remember.
And of course, this is the 20th century now. Such things are nonsense. There's got to be physical explanations for it, real explanations for it. But if there's any veracity to it whatsoever, the Bernier house is protected.
Well, these things are reflective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
things like bounce off of them, whether it's light or something else. And Sean, is there like a straight shot to the Bernier's back door through this property's back door? Like, if could you hop a fence type of thing?
There is, but there is a fence, like much like the one that's out in front of the Berniers. They have it in the back. But
Lupita just says, all I'm saying is this is a break in their defenses, if that's what those are. If their globe's out front, maybe the back door is exposed. And she'll pull the car away again. If anything else is interesting, let us know, but otherwise we'll just park back on the other side of the block.
Okay. Sounds good. You go back to the other side of the block. And the neighborhood's still in the same. I mean, some of that, windows are opening up or shades, if you will, and it becomes a little bit more lively, but nothing too crazy. It's not party in the streets. But, you'll get a car that pulls out of the driveway now. A couple more lawnmowers fire up, and you see a truck and a trailer come through. It says Moe's mowing on the side. Pulls right through. Vroom. Looks like it comes down to near the end of the block, and looks like the Moe's works on the weekends. Is going to knock out some work. A couple guys in the pickup, and going back into the house. Hank?
So I enter back into the living room.
Okay.
I see that the missus is not there. I guess I hear some glasses clanking in the kitchen or whatever. And when Tim is not looking, I wink to Hank and sit back down, and then, chest puffed up a little bit like I did something good.
All right.
All right. So Hank will say, Mr. Bernier, so you can confirm that your daughter has really had no issues in the week leading up to this incident in school?
None that we are aware of. There was no reports from the teacher. My daughter's, actually a very, a very good student, and well, she does well in school, and she behaves. If it were to be, if she were to encounter something, I would hope that she would bring it to our attention, but we haven't heard anything, and the teachers haven't informed us of any problems, bullying or anything of that nature.
Okay, what about your son and his school? Has he had anything happen?
Well, he's a teenager. He's 16, and Evelyn chimes in, boys will be boys, but I don't like him being out too late. And Tim tends to give him a little bit more leash than he should. And Tim kind of rolls his eyes, and, he's like, Tim, he goes, Chad's a good kid. He stays out later than I'd like him to, but I haven't heard of any. We're keeping an eye on him, let's just say.
All right. Are your children up yet? Could we?
I'd have to check. Tim's like, I think looks at Evelyn. I think I heard Chad early up. I think I heard some rustle from his room. He might be up. He's probably playing video games with his headphones on or something. And I'd have to double check on Catherine. She sleeps in sometimes.
Could we talk to Chad?
Sure. I could.
And if possible, perhaps alone, he might not divulge information to you two like he might to me. If you're not comfortable with that, I understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mr. Bernier, this is a nice house. I've been looking in this area for a house. How many bedrooms is this house?
We've got 4 bedrooms.
Are they all on this floor? Like, are they all on this first floor?
Evelyn's like, well, there's really 5, Tim, and he's like, well, we don't use one. One's like the I put my gym stuff in there, so it's like a workout room. But
Oh,
yeah,
excellent.
they have 2 kids, and then ours, and then there's a guest room. Yeah, it's a nice neighborhood. We enjoy it. And then Evelyn walks over towards where the stairs go down, and she yells down the stairs, Chad, can you come here for a minute? What's going on? What's up? So just come up for a second, please. And you hear something going on, and then stomp, stomp, stomp up the stairs. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, what's going on? There's a couple people that are here to talk. You're not in trouble, okay? It's just an agent with the government and a faculty member. They're doing some research on bullying, and maybe you could provide some information to them and help them out. Because bullying's a serious thing. You're not getting bullied at school, are you, Chad? It's like, no, I'm not getting bullied at school. I might do some bullying. And he smiles with a big grin on his face. She's don't do that. You know better. He's like, yeah.
So, real quick to get bearings, when we were at the window wells and we saw into a room where the young girl was and the mirror, is that a bedroom in the basement down the stairs?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to get my bearings.
The basement is almost potentially a first floor if they didn't move a mound of grass and landscape up to it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So, Hank, let me
Yeah. So
look
Hank,
over the
Hank will
child
get
suite.
up and say, Chad, I'm Williams. Nice to meet you. Could you have a seat, please?
Nice to meet you. He's wearing a Jane's Addiction living color tour shirt and workout shorts. Hey, he's like, hey.
So I'd like to talk to you about things that are going on at school and perhaps the week, 10 days leading up to the thing that happened about your front door. And any information that you can provide us will help other families avoid things like this. So I'd really like you to be honest with me.
Yeah, okay, sure.
All right. So you jokingly said that you haven't been bullied, but you might have done bullying. Are you being truthful on that?
I was just joking. I don't bully. I don't like it when people do it, and I wouldn't do it. So it was just a joke. I was joking.
Okay.
Looks at his dad and his stepmother. I was joking. And then his dad's like, Chad, no. Come on. This is serious. Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I don't bully, and I don't believe in it, so yeah.
And no one said anything to you?
Nobody
Is
said
he
anything
nervous
to
at
me.
all? Can Hank try to figure out if he's being truthful?
Yeah, go ahead, do a human check.
Yeah. Nope.
Ooh.
I mean, as far as you could tell, he's pretty cool as a cucumber for a 16-year-old.
Stand next to Evelyn. I'm assuming she has my glass of water that I'm so
Yeah.
gracious to grab from her, and I say low, I'm like, let's let the guys. There might be too many people in here right now, and I want to walk like with her further back as I'm making small talk towards the stairs that go down.
Sure. It's the stairs you kind of go past when you get to get back towards the back of the house, where there's a where the kitchen is and some there's a small eating area that's not specifically for the dining room, but there's a vaulted family room. So it's kind of like the stairs and there's another washroom. That's kind of the island in the middle of this. So if you kind of go around the stairs to the back.
So I'm making small talk about. I bring the bedrooms up again and saying that, yeah, I was in the area earlier. I study at UF and then all of a sudden I whether I do or not, I pretend that I feel cooler air coming from where the child just came up from the basement. I'm like, oh, I was like, that's what I heard. These underground rooms, stay nice and cool in the winter. Um, you mind if I just want to see how it is because I'm from Kansas. Like we don't, we have root cellars and things like that, but uh, I was wondering, should I get a house with a basement or without? A lot of them are concrete, and because of flooding and things like that, a lot of people don't have basements, and it's a premium for the basement. So, yeah, and I like stick my hand and I feel like the cool air, and I'm like, you mind? I'm just curious.
She looks a little odd, but your quirkiness is rubbing off, and she says, "Yeah, sure. Well, the basements are always a little cooler. Hot air rises and cool air settles down. So, I can give you a quick nickel tour if you're serious about moving to the neighborhood, and she'll take you down, and she goes, you go down the stairs, and you come out." And there's a wide sitting area that comes out kind of as the stairs comes down the middle. You can go right or left, and then behind the stairs is the sitting area. So towards the back of the house, she's like, well, that's the washroom. I won't show you that. That's where all the washers and the basin is, and some of the storage things that we put back there. And then that's Chad's room, and then that's Catherine's room. It sounds like she might be up running around, and then she kind of points around past the kids. Chad's room is open, and it looks like a teenage boy's room. It's got some poster on the wall of a sexy female, and then she's like, and it's like clothes on the floor, and it's got an NWA poster on one wall, and
Baywatch poster.
yeah, and a Living Color poster. World Tour, 1988.
Nice.
I don't remember when Living Color was around. And then Catherine's room's door is cracked, but you can't really see too much into it. And then there's a playroom that spans what would be the whole kind of side of that building, pretty much under the rooms where you started kind of walking down upstairs.
So Evelyn, I mean, it definitely is much cooler down here, and if me and the lucky someone ever start a family, and we need to stretch out and put children in a whole bunch of rooms, and I'm very awkward at this because I don't have a special someone at the moment.
Oh.
I do have an ex-wife. I do have my ring on. And I said, I'm just curious about, like I like plants and sunlight, and like how much, like the windows, how do the windows work? If we're below grade, is there, do you get enough sun in these rooms?
We get some pretty decent sunlight because the wells are quite a bit deeper. So, there are almost full length windows that are on the kids' side. And so there's plenty of sunlight that comes through those. Plus, it probably helps with a little cooling that we have 2 AC units, actually, one for the downstairs and one for the upstairs. So that helps. I heard with some of these bigger homes and how the hotness is here in Tampa, it's things that they're starting to do, especially with newer construction. Tim thought it'd be a good idea he found a deal on one and decided to get one installed for the basement.
When I look into Chad's room, do I see a mirror? Like, does he have a bureau with like a
He's
mirror?
got he's got like a full length mirror on the back of his door.
Okay. and I noticed the sunlight coming into one side of the house into Chad's room. Uh, said I said, "Do you think Catherine would mind if if we? I mean, you make sure she's decent or awake or whatever. I'm just curious because I have special like glass shelving that I put in front of the windows, and I have a lot of succulents that I like to keep. And I just want to make sure the dimensions, uh, are something I could work with, or if I have to get something special made, it would be nice to if I could just bring what I have at my current residence here.
Well,
And
I mean, all our houses are, I mean, I don't know if they're all the same. I don't think they're not cookie cutters that like some neighborhoods. So I'm not quite sure. Did you have one already picked out in the neighborhood or?
well, no, I was working with Quadmart, and I met somebody at a recent realtor thing, and
Hmm.
they were telling me this was a nice neighborhood, and I didn't realize how much more expensive the houses were with basements uh, here in this area. I just took it for granted, and I wasn't thinking basement at all. And I just want to make sure it's the right choice for me if I'm going to spend that money, especially since at the moment I'm by myself. Do I need all that extra room?
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, give me a persuade check. Things
I've
are
been
getting
waiting.
weird.
I've been waiting.
It's like, phew. All right. Well, let me, I suppose, I mean, can't hurt, I guess. She definitely doesn't feel threatened by you. So, like,
Oh no.
all your perspiration and everything. So she says, "Well, if you could just wait right here, I'll make sure Catherine is up and awake." And then you see her gonna knock on the door and crack it open, and she's like, "What?" She would knock on the door. She just cracks it open and kind of waves her hand inside, and um, you don't hear anything. So she walks in and she goes, "Well, okay, all right. Well, can you just come out?" Well, that can wait. Okay. And then she comes out and she says, um, she looks at the little girl and she points to you and she says, she does sign language and said, did you introduce yourself as Gladstone, Professor Gladstone?
Professor Gladstone.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
said, this is Professor Gladstone. She spells it
And I'm
out.
like Jerry. Jerry's good.
Jer-
With children, Jerry.
Professor Gladstone. So she signs it again. He says Jerry, but do not call him Jerry. She actually doesn't say that. She actually just signs it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
And
I don't
and
know. Yeah, I'm not down, so I don't know.
yeah, and she's got like, sweatpants on and a t-shirt
And
and she's
obviously, I'm not even intent on this interaction. I'm looking past in. I'm
okay,
observing. Considering we were talking about the mirror and what we saw the night before, and
sure.
I'm just trying to place it now from this vantage point.
Yeah. So the door is a little bit wider open, but you could see the bed that's a little like closer to the door as you enter, sticking out from the wall. And on the right hand side is like the kind of a more feminine vanity with a rounder mirror. Um, and then you've got some other things that you would find appropriate in an 8-year-old's bedroom. It's a little bit tidier than Chad's. Like there's different books like that are on a bookshelf, and then there's some probably old dolls and figures, throughout, and some couple posters of some, I think NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or something on the walls.
I Evelyn, I appreciate everything, and I'm making myself look not intimidating, even more smiling. I've dealt with children and students and kids before. I say, okay, this is great. While they're talking to Chad, And I look at Catherine and I'm like, maybe we want to just, get some breakfast and maybe we can talk. And I realize, and I'm talking to Evelyn, but I'm trying to show Catherine I'm, non-threatening, and maybe the three of us could talk.
Yeah, she looks at you knowing she can't hear you, so she just kind of looks at you, stares, and looks at her mother for any confirmation or something along those lines. You get probably, I would guess, thrown off. Like you're talking and then you probably talk to her thinking she can hear you.
Well, of course,
And
yeah. And then I realize, and then I check myself. Yeah.
right. And so she says, yes, we should probably go upstairs and get some breakfast. And then she signs to Catherine, breakfast time, come up and grab something to eat. I'll make your favorite waffles. And then she signs back and she's like, no, you can't. No, not donuts. You're going to get waffles. And she puts on a face.
So I pick out, just as we're about to turn and I'm looking past them and they go towards the stairs, I pick out a book on the shelf. I just pick out a book.
On Catherine's shelf?
On Catherine's shelf. And I
Nancy
point and I make
Drew.
my way towards it.
It says Nancy Drew on it. Yeah.
I love it. Nancy Drew. So I'm like, oh, I used to read Hardy Boys and my sister used to read Nancy Drew. And I point and I walk in like I'm allowed to just walk in, and I go straight for the book. And I notice Evelyn and I turn back and I'm like, oh, she loves to read. I just want to stand I don't want to go in the room and touch her stuff. I just want to stand in the room close enough without touching anything.
Sure.
And I look and she likes to read.
Yeah, she's she loves to read. Yes, she's consumed in reading.
I don't want to spend a lot of time in there. Yeah, all I want to do is I'm just making that small talk while I'm looking. Do I see anything out of the ordinary? Do I see? Because I'm thinking, I'm an occult guy. Do I see anything weird? Something on the ceiling? Anything strange that does not look like a little girl's room?
Not offhand.
Okay, that's all. It's I just want a quick glance. Nothing is strange. I don't. That's fine. And then I make my way out. I don't want to linger.
As you're looking, it becomes eerily quiet. Like you're in your own little space. Nothing unusual. Waiting for something to jump out behind the bookshelf, and there's nothing there. Everything's fine.
So,
she says, well, maybe we should go. And then the silence is broken by Evelyn and says, well, maybe we should go upstairs. And she signs to her daughter. She's like, you like to read. That's what he's commenting. You like Nancy Drew. Did you say your sister read Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys?
Yes, my sister Barb. Yeah, she, none of us. All right, my brothers and I read Hardy Boys, but when they weren't looking, I would take some of Barb's Nancy Drews and read them. But I would never admit to that, and I just laugh.
So Evelyn signs
some of them
that.
I think were better written than the Hardy Boys.
And Evelyn is like, she kind of stops at certain points to kind of try to figure out how to sign what you're saying. She's like, oh shoot. Okay. And she goes, you know what I'm saying? And Catherine signs back like they're kind of trying to get on the same page, because obviously it's apparent that Evelyn has probably not been signing as long. And she's like, yeah, ha ha, and then she goes ha ha, and then she kind of takes and ruffles her hair, and she puts up a fuss. Let's go get some food.
Sounds good. And I just go right up with them, get out of there.
All right. So she makes sure you're coming up in front of her and getting you out of the basement.
Yeah, of course. I'm not even hesitating. I'm out.
Okay. Who's Hank? What's going on?
Hank's gonna look at Chad for like bruises, abrasions on knuckles. I mean, just a cursory glance.
Sure.
As he's talking to him about, when I was your age, I would get into scraps all the time. You haven't had any fights that have escalated.
It's like, no, I'm not a fighting guy. I don't do that.
So
Or
he doesn't
hit-
have any bruises or abrasions on knuckles or.
No.
Okay.
You do because of your ranks in criminology and your ability to kind of, your experience, you're kind of being nonchalant, looking at him, and you don't notice anything unusual with
Okay.
his hands. There's no injuries or bruising. Looks like a normal teenage kid.
All right.
He's like, look, man, I don't fight. That's not what I do. I like music and hanging out with my friends. But I mean, I'll defend myself, but
So you haven't had any issues after the graffiti incident?
nah, no.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's just someone at school probably put that on the door as a prank.
If you had to finger somebody, was it someone that didn't like you, or was it someone didn't like your sister?
I don't know. That could be anybody. Could even be a friendly prank. It could be one of my friends doing it as a stupid joke. But I'd be really ticked off if I found out it was them. They said it wasn't them, and they don't know. But I don't know. Could be anybody. Could be rival school for all I know.
You're a musician?
No, I don't. I mean, I just listen to music. I wish I could play guitar, but, maybe I'll probably try to get one maybe Christmas. He looks at his dad, right, Dad? Get a Fender Strat? It's like, we'll see, son. Keep those grades up. Maybe.
All right. This
We're
is
talking.
be a dead end.
I'm gonna let you guys keep doing the scene, but I say to Evelyn, I say, "Oh, I have some stuff in the car. Let me, because I realize I don't have anything to write. I don't have a book, a pad, anything. Now that I realize that Catherine's deaf, and I say, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go run out to the car. I have some stuff." And I look right at Catherine, and I'm like, you like to read, you know? And I look at Evelyn. I'm like, I have something for you, and I kind of want to make my way out to the car.
Yeah, Catherine's looking at you weird, like, huh? Evelyn says he has to get something. And then she nods and shrugs her shoulders.
And I walk right past Hank
Okay.
and them in the living room.
So now you're in the living room. You didn't exit to go get something out of the car?
Well, I don't know. I forgot. I don't know where from there to the. But I look in the living room and see him and go out the front door or the side door.
Yeah. You can go right past them, right
That's
right
fine.
out the door.
I just go. Yeah. He sees me walk out of the house. I don't motion to him. I don't talk to him or anything.
Okay.
I just leave the house.
Okay. So, Chad, last thing. What kind of relationship do you have with your sister? Is it hard?
She's awesome. I love my sister.
Okay. And you guys have a good relationship. You guys can communicate well.
Yeah.
You know how to talk to her fine?
Oh, of course. Come on, man. She's my sister. You got a sister? Don't you talk to her?
I don't have a sister. But
hey, am I being arrested?
No.
Oh.
You can go now.
Appreciate it. Okay. All right. I'm going to grab some. Do we have any waffles? Can I get some waffles? She's like, we got some waffles. There's some at the table. He like grabs them and then he marches downstairs. Boom, 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 boom. Hear his feet go down the stairs. Tim's looking at you. He's like, is this going to be long? Did you get the info you needed?
Yes, I got all the information I needed from your son, and now I'd like to talk to your daughter. But I understand if she needs to eat breakfast first, I can just review my notes.
Sure.
You really think that there's nothing going on at their school?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we show up to all the parent-teacher conferences and keep pretty good pulse on our kids. I mean, I know some parents it's hard to do, but we're pretty involved.
Okay.
I mean, even Evelyn helps out quite a bit considering.
Yeah. What about you and work or neighbors? Any issues that you can think of?
No, we
I
live in
mean,
a
now this is just curiosity. I mean, the scope of my investigation really involves schools and bullying, but the police report was really rather cursory, and now my cop curiosity is just taking over here. Your wife didn't seem happy with the investigation. I'm just wondering, what may be happening in your life that may have prompted this. If the kids had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's it could be some could be some racist. Wouldn't be my first time encountering something that's that, or maybe it's overexcited children. Um, but Evelyn can take things to another level too. Not that this isn't serious, but she tends to get a little bit a little overzealous with things like this. But you know, I I don't think there's anything to be worried about. Is there? I mean, the police said they were going to step up patrols. I'm not really overly concerned.
And how long have you lived in this neighborhood?
Oh, it's been 8 years, 7 years, I think.
And nothing like this has happened before?
Nope. No,
Or
it's a quiet neighborhood.
or to maybe any other African Americans that may live in this neighborhood?
There isn't any. I mean, we don't have any neighbors, minority neighbors at the moment. I think there might be a couple down the street, but I mean, I work really hard to get where I am, and I want the best for my kids. And I went to college first in the family to go to college, and worked my butt off because, um, it's not easy. So.
And does that symbol mean anything to you from previous incidents you may have encountered on racism?
No, I don't get, what I meant by racism is I don't get people showing up to houses I lived at and carving stuff into my doors. It's a systemic thing, and y I don't think you probably understand that, officer.
No, I'm sorry, I don't. But
Yeah,
any
you ever get pulled
information?
over for no reason, maybe just driving through the wrong neighborhood, some evening, maybe get stared at in a grocery store, women's tighten their purses when you enter an elevator.
No,
Uh,
sorry.
I don't expect you to understand, but what I mean is that it's not. Sometimes the cards you're dealt in life just aren't that easy to overcome. You have to put more effort into it.
Well, it
Doesn't
seems your
necessarily have to be
effort is paying
race,
off.
but yeah. So that's what I mean.
All right. Well, as soon as your daughter's available, we can get out of your hair.
Sure. Evelyn, is Catherine in there? Yep, she's just finishing down a waffle. Can you bring her in here, please? Sure. Catherine. And then a couple of seconds later, Catherine comes in and with Evelyn. And then Tim's sign language is way more smoother than Evelyn's. Not that Hank would realize, but if Gladstone were in the room, he'd notice. And he makes the introduction. This is my daughter, Catherine. I hope this doesn't take long. We've got things to do. It's a Saturday, and you probably have better things to do as well.
I do, and I'm sure you do too. So Hank will smile and put his hand out to Catherine. Nice to meet you.
And she looks at her father, and he nods, and she shakes your hand. And then she signs, and he goes, "Nice to meet you."
So I guess he'll say, "Mr. Bernier, not really that versed in communicating like this.
Just talk to her, and then I'll sign.
Look at you.
Yep. Just talk. No, okay. Just talk to her like you would any normal child.
Okay. Thank you. So I will look at Catherine and just talk to her. say that, we're asking some questions about what has happened at school over the past couple of weeks leading up to the event of the vandalism, and if she can let us know there's any bullying issues, fights, people that she might not get along with, anything in the neighborhood, anything with her brother that she can think of.
So he signs. Is there anything you think of? Any bullying? He's here to check on kids and bullying, make sure everything's okay, and doing research. And she says, shakes her head, signs. He says, no, I haven't had any problems. The school is good for me. I don't know if I would have problems in another school, but everything seems fine. I haven't encountered any problems.
Do you have any problems in the neighborhood with other children?
And she says, no, nothing. She seems to get along and play with the kids in the area. They're all very nice. She has some good friends. She likes Sarah. Sarah's one of her good friends down the street. Similar name as her mother. That's what she signs. Same name as my mother.
And may I ask how you're doing with your parents' divorce and your new stepmom?
And Tim, at this point, he stops and he looks at you and says, Is this something about school and their protection, or?
Well, I mean, this is the whole psychological profile I'm getting at here. I'm trying to understand what may be happening in your kids' lives that might lead to an event like this. And I would just like to check to see if everything really is okay.
He doesn't sign. He tells you like their mother's in Chicago and she hasn't seen him in a couple years. So that's all you probably need to know.
Okay. Thank you.
So when I go outside, I go to Lupita and Dejesus to the car because I need to get something out
Here
of
comes
it.
Gladstone, Dejesus, Caneta.
Yep, here comes 007 here.
She uses the console to put the window down as he walks up.
With the fake plastic wood on the door.
That's right.
That's the thing.
There's not chrome;
right.
it's plastic.
So, I walk out. Quickly. I motion Lupita. I'm like, Lupita, can you pop the trunk? This is the most confident you've ever seen me.
She'll get out.
She pops the trunk. Yeah.
With the keys, she pops it, opens it up. What's going on?
It's great. Hank is in there. We were able to talk to the children. I went in the basement. I saw the room. I saw the room where the mirror and that thing that the last night, and I'm like tripping on my words, and I'm digging through my rucksack bag, and I take out the latest issue of Science Magazine that I had in there, and I have a composition notebook that has a bunch of sketches and stuff that I do when I'm doing my field research, and I take out one of my pencils and I start sketching something in the notebook while I'm talking to you. And I said, yeah, so Hank was talking to the boy. I don't know what happened because I was able to go downstairs. I met the girl. She is deaf. The young girl is deaf. And Dejesus, you're hearing all this, right? So
Right.
And then as we're talking, I see Perez coming back, like his flyers, right there. The last half of them is all sweaty from him walking around with them. in there, and the inkjet just running off the bottom of them. I wave Perez over, so like, hey, yeah, I got some news.
What? Lark says you're making a scene. What's going on? What's the next step?
We're
Did you get the kids alone?
Sort of. So the kid was talking to mom. I stepped out to get some paper because I have an idea. And Hank was talking to the son. And then while I'm talking to you, I'm sketching. And then I show this to you. And I say, I'm going to put this in the magazine and give it to the girl when I'm talking to her because she can't understand what I'm saying. And I don't want to talk about this creature in front of the parents. So I figure if I give her the magazine, she likes to read. I talked to Evelyn, the mother, and she says Catherine loves to read. So I figured maybe there'd be some interesting stuff in the science magazine she'd like to see. But maybe when they're not looking, I could see her reaction from a sketch that I have in my science magazine.
Dejesus will say you also need some. You might want this information as well, and perhaps you can get this out of your questioning right now. We have just learned that we have reason to believe that everyone in this neighborhood has unaccountably received in the mail one of these witch globes. Berniers have one as too. Perhaps you can try to understand. I mean, ask them about where theirs came from. Here's the thing: we can assume they all came from the Chicago area. More and more, this looks like this has something to do with Sarah Garrison, the children's mother.
Okay.
Ask the Berniers where they got theirs and what it's all about. She taps again. She always has that big pen, right? Because her big pen. She taps your paper that you read to the sketch. She's like, you might even let Tim see this picture, see if he reacts. Try the kids first.
I'm hanging on all of your words because I need instruction. I'm gonna do whatever you guys tell me to do. Okay, so do I let Tim see it first and then
Kids
Catherine,
first.
or do
Kids first.
all right? So is the magazine thing a good idea?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. I smile like, all right, that was my idea. That's totally my idea. I guess I look at Perez, and she's standing there, not in the car. I don't really understand why. Sweaty with the things, and then it comes back to me. Oh yeah, you were doing the Perez landscaping thing. I really wasn't paying attention to that whole caper while I was doing my own machinations in the back seat. Okay, well, I got to get back in there. I take the composition book. I take the magazine. Do I need any? Like, is there anything else? And I'm looking at Dejesus. I'm looking at Perez. Is there anything else? So I ask him about I asked him about the balls, or do I?
We're not even supposed to be with you.
Have you learned anything yet? Do we know what our next step might be? Have the kids said anything strange? No. Show them a picture, and we'll
Catherine
move
sleeps
from
in
there.
the basement, and I saw her room.
Okay, we knew that
I didn't
already.
find anything strange. Yes, I know.
Are there mirrors in every room?
There was a mirror in Chad's room next door. I don't recall in the main room. I wasn't really looking. I was more intent on trying to get into the kids' room, and I feel like, all right, maybe I'm not a good detective, but I was like, all right, I'm taking mental notes. I'm going to look for all mirrors in all rooms when I go back in the house. Should I bring one of those balls with me, or is that just weird?
I think that's weird.
Okay,
Ask
all right,
them.
all right.
You'll
Ask
definitely
them
get a
why-
reaction, though.
Ask them why every neighbor has one and where they got it.
Got it. And
What
when
they're
do I
for.
call you guys?
You don't need to call us.
Oh,
Finish
okay.
what you and Mr. Williams are doing. And when you leave, we'll figure out a plan of action. And if you need us, then you can call us. If something goes wrong, or if there's a golden opportunity, you'll know it, then you can call us.
I'll know it. Yes.
Don't push
yes.
it.
Golden opportunity. I got it. Golden. Great. Okay. Take my stuff. I roll up the magazine. I rip the page out of my book, but I still bring the book because I need something to write in. I stick it in the magazine. I look for an article that is kind of kid friendly, and there's a thing on like supernovas. Oh, cool color, whatever. All right, I stick it in there. This is cool. And I make my way back. I look over my shoulder, like, I got this. We got this. I walk back in the house. I'm assuming everyone's in the kitchen now. So I walk in. I realize Hank is not in the living room off of the front door.
All
We
right.
stick with the
make my
car,
way
with the car for a second, Sean.
Yep, absolutely.
So Caneta kind of motions to the car to both Perez and Dejesus, as in, get in, let's talk.
I do.
Perez, you get in as well? I think you're muted, Edwin.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah. If you tell me to get in, I'll definitely get in.
Yep.
I'll sort of look around and duck in.
So Caneta says, this all ties back to Sarah, just like you said, Dejesus. Maybe we should call her directly.
Call Sarah.
Find her number.
Sure.
There's other things we can do here. We can break every one of these goddamn globes if they are funneling shadows to the house. Or the one that has two, we can take one of them and put it on the lawn behind, on the other side of the house, to complete the network or whatever it is. But we have to know, are the globes helping or are they hurting?
Right. Yeah, is she looking after her kids, or is she going after her kids?
Exactly. The last thing we can do is, and this, I don't want to screw up what they're doing with the kids right now. We could show up later, and I could say that I'm on a case chasing a fugitive who is named Sarah as like a contact or an accomplice or something. And that may let us get a reaction out of Tim to understand the relationship he has with his ex-wife. Just ideas.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe that would have been a more productive angle for this questioning. Is that Sarah is? There's some questions around Sarah,
now we know.
And we want to
Now we know.
ask them about the whereabouts. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yep. So
let's let Hank and the professor do their thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So I walk back into the questioning that's going on in the kitchen with Hank.
All right, Hank. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk to the daughter about? Tim actually asked you that. Is there anything else that you needed from my daughter?
No, I don't think so. I think that you're a poster family. I really appreciate your time. And then Gladstone comes in and Hank shakes his head, pulls out another handkerchief and hands it to him.
Yes, it's hot out there, man. It's hot. And and I look at Evan, I'm like, here's a magazine, and I have my book too, so I could write some stuff down. So, you guys started without me. Hank, is there anything you need me to write down or anything or whatever? And I'm just trying to make small talk because, like, why did I go all the way out to the car and get this stuff if it's already done?
Well, I mean, you're the child expert. Do you have any questions? I mean, from a
Yes,
law
I am.
enforcement standpoint, I didn't. Nothing is really turning up, but we have good information.
At the response of yes, you see Tim's shoulders kind of like slouch, like in
So
disappointment.
I hand the science magazine that definitely is probably too old for a child of her age. But hand it and say, here, this is what I went out to my car to get. And I'm kind of talking to Evelyn because I realize she can't. Catherine doesn't understand what I'm saying, and I give it, and I open, and I'm telling everyone, even Tim, I'm like, and also Hank, I'm like, sometimes my findings, my archaeological findings get. I'm sorry, my professor, my papers get published in this magazine, and so I try to read them. But there's some interesting articles in here. I think even Catherine, since she's an avid reader, she may do it. And I'm like flipping the pages, and I quickly go to the page that has my sketch in it, and it's there in front of everybody.
You see Catherine's face change a little bit. Yeah, she sees it, and her eyes get a little wide briefly, and she doesn't know what to do. She seems a little frozen for just a second, and let me see. I don't think I'm typing this in right. Nope. Oh, come on.
Ooh.
Okay. And so Evelyn notices the piece of paper. Tim does not. He's like kind of a magazine, strange. And she says, "Oh, you must have left something in the magazine. Is this?"
Oh yes, that's just one of sometimes I doodle and I draw some sketches and stuff, and I grab it back and I stick it into my composition notebook.
To flash it to everyone.
Catherine
It's still
starts
have it,
signing.
so.
Catherine starts signing very quickly, and yeah, well, you have to put your plate away first, young lady. And she just runs downstairs. So, hey, now that wasn't nice. Tim goes, just let her go. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Sorry for my daughter's prompt, I don't know what overcame her, but she usually isn't like that. I don't know what her problem is. Young kids, I guess.
I'm sorry. Maybe the magazine was a little overwhelming for her. I was just excited and thought maybe this would be something good for her. And then I open my book and then I look at Hank, and I'm about to just write like some gibberish notes down. That
Okay.
meant something to me to write down.
Well, Professor,
And
unless you have anything more, I think that we're done here.
I think we're good. And I flip open again to that page with the loose paper, and I just move it and I put it on the counter next to me as I'm finishing my notes and close my book. Are there any other reactions to that page from Tim or Evelyn, or no?
No.
Okay. I pretend to forget that page and turn around as
And
I
you leave
close
it.
my book, and
You leave it
I just
behind.
leave it there. It's just sitting on the counter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim, as you're walking out, you're kind of, Evelyn's showing you out. Well, thanks. Thank you, I guess, I hope good luck with your research and hopefully good comes from it.
We appreciate your time.
And as you
You've
guys
been
are
gracious.
As you guys are sitting on the street in the car, you notice that there's a truck that comes up. Kind of a utility truck, kind of not a box truck. Well, I guess it's a box truck, and it's Simon's Windows and Doors pulls up and comes up to the gate, hits a button, and inside you hear Meh. And Tim goes, yeah, and he's like, Simon's Windows and Doors. He's like, yep, go ahead, come on through. And the gate opens and the box truck pulls up really slowly up the driveway. And then as Hank and Gladstone are leaving outside the house, you hear Tim come out and say, "Oh, hey, Professor, you left this behind."
Oh, thanks. Sorry, I didn't mean to. And I take it and I stick it back in my book like it's nothing. And again, I look at him and nothing, stone face, no reaction, nothing. Okay.
Sure. And then he stands there and he kind of walks back to the entryway and looks down the driveway, waiting for the truck to come up, probably more likely to replace his door.
So Hank will
Following Hank's lead.
go
Yeah.
to the car. He'll get Lark's attention and like motion around the corner and get in the car and drive around.
We'll do a meetup.
Is there so just relay everything that happened, but is there any reason to see if we can get the door from the other door company when they leave with it? Or is that just a cursory idea?
I, as as a scholar and me knowing what that sign is for Yas, Kas, all that fun stuff, I would like the door. It's very interesting to me. So if we want to come back later and grab it, or
Well, we could just stake out when they leave and then follow the truck and see if we can get it. But I think we need to do some more Sarah investigation.
Lupita will relay her ideas to these two now that they're out of the house, which is basically calling Sarah, potentially trying to get back into the house for another conversation. Obviously, it would be Dejesus, probably Perez and Caneta, or some variation of that. With the angle being there's a fugitive on the loose who has named or has an accomplice or a contact with Sarah, which led them to his residence, type of thing. But the big question immediately on the table, maybe we'll understand this after we talk to Sarah on the phone, if we can get her, is whether we should be smashing these globes or replacing the one that's missing. So she'll relay that whole thing.
I'm worried about the girl. I think she ran out on you on a conversation. Do you think she's going to try to catch up? Like maybe she went to get dressed to catch up, or went to call a friend, or like we should figure out what she's doing.
She's probably speaking to her shadow mother right now.
That's what I was wondering. I wonder if enough distract. I'm gonna sort of jog back to the house. So the two cars are around the corner, I think, right?
Yep.
And I'll jog back to the house and see if I think there's enough. See if there's enough distraction. I've got my flyers too. So as I come up to the gate, I guess first of all, see sort of what's happening. If the dad's like talking with the Simon's door and window out in the front yard, or what's the...
Yeah, I would say when you get back, he's like, okay, sounds good. Yeah, all right. Well, if you need anything, just let me know. I'll be in. I'll be inside. Just knock, and you can walk right in. And he's about to go into the house as the guys have the back of the box truck opened up, and there's a couple of things in the back. Some looks like windows and doors in the back of the truck, and they start moving to grabbing their tool belts and looking at this door and start popping it off the hinges and things of that nature.
I'll sort of follow into the yard, and as he's going inside, I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait for him to get inside because that's more annoying. So he went inside, and I'll just start walking. I'm just actually going to walk straight to the window well and see if I can see down into her room.
Okay. You just not, just blatantly, or you don't care if anybody sees you?
In my hand, and I'm walking. I'm just walking. Yeah, walk past the side of the house and look down into the window.
Okay. So as you do that, the two guys are pretty occupied with replacing the door, but given your presence, they look at you. thinking that you're probably going to go up to the door. Yeah. And so they get back to working on it and then probably realize that you aren't walking up to the door and look over and wonder where you went. And as you can approach the side of the house, there's the window well, which you slid down. You've been down in it before. So the angle of standing up on the ground and looking down you're not going to see much. You probably just get
I'll
a
crouch
really
down and start pulling some like blades of grass out as I'm looking down through the window.
okay.
Lawn
Look over
care.
at that. Yeah, it's like
Lawn care,
yeah,
Yeah.
like hey, all right. They
Oh
just
shit,
keep
wrong house.
they don't know what to do.
I
They
assume
mind
that
their
the door
business.
people don't care. I'm around
Yeah.
side now.
Yeah. Okay. So you take a peek, kind of hang your head down, and now are you doing that stealthy, or you're like, and you poke your head down in that window well
Well, I was thinking if I squat down, I was
above?
hoping I could get a good view without actually like dipping my head in. Like if I just sort of
Yeah, you get enough of an angle to see inside. You probably don't see the full height of the wall
Right.
across the room, right? So you see maybe like the side and the edge of her bed, and every once in a while you see her like legs maybe walk by the window, and you could see that for the most part. Probably can't see like the top of her, just given the angle.
All right. Well, I will lie down then and drop my head in, and my goal is to see up to about here, because then I'm assuming she won't see me.
Okay.
And I'm looking for a telephone. I'm looking for a shadow. I'm looking for try to see what's going on.
Yeah, it's her, and she's sitting there, and she
Can't be on the phone.
maybe sitting on the bed and reading a book, maybe paging through the magazine Gladstone left behind.
Okay.
You don't see any shadows or anything, though it's fairly lit through the window, but you probably dim it from the inside a little bit, but no noticeable shadow from you being caused by you being in that windowsill. So kind of just a young kid sitting in a.
Okay. I'll stand up and walk around the rest of the house and come back out, I assume, to the front yard again and wave again to the door people and walk out into the street.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No problem. Nobody notices you. Evelyn and Tim must be busy inside, and the two door guys are like, I don't know. They look like they're supposed to be here, so they just continue to work on the door. Head out, Perez.
Yeah, head out and go around the corner again.
Okay, you can meet up with the group, no problem. And then somebody's walking down the sidewalk, and they see you, and you still got your flyers in your hands,
Yeah.
like bright yellow or bright pink.
They're white. It was a quick print job, but they've got the nice logo on them.
Okay.
But I'll hold them out and say, hey, hello, sir.
Do it like the Las Vegas. I said, yeah, got that.
Okay, great. Well, if we can do anything.
You put it in my bail box. I got it. Yeah, thanks. I'll give you a call if I need it. Thanks.
Great. Yeah, we'd love to talk to you anytime. We do
sure.
good work.
Yep.
You and my
No.
brothers.
Yep. Sure. Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Keeps walking. You're back with the group.
She wasn't up to anything. She's just sitting there reading that science magazine.
All right, we got to find out more about Sarah. That's the plan for today.
Sounds good.
And I think we need to do it fast. And I look at Hank, and he saw the reaction of Catherine, and there was definitely some fear in that reaction. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say, I know too much.
Did you guys leave a business card or anything? They don't have any way of contacting us, huh?
No.
Huh. I just wonder if that girl wants to talk about this. You provoked her, but then we don't have a way for her to follow on. We've got to allow her to finish up somehow.
Lupita says, Hank, you could go back and give them your card, and you can get that door from those guys.
On the magazine is my name and my mailing address because it gets mailed
Right.
to me.
Yeah, you
So at
think the
least they
kid's
have
smart
my
enough?
name.
Think an 8-year-old smart enough to send you a
So
letter?
can,
She can't
can
call
I
you
make
though.
3 weeks from now.
can I
Yeah.
make a human check to see if I thought she was more scared or nervous?
Sure.
Like scared that she had some fear or nervous of that I know. Okay.
Apparently not.
Should have a
Check the box.
70 in human too.
Hard
Jeez.
to say from, for her mannerisms, other than she was just startled to see it.
Okay.
All right. So what's
I'm
the next?
down with any and all plans. I just think we need to move quickly.
I need to hit the boys' room. Should we take a quick break?
Sure.
Good idea.
Yeah. Why don't we take a little
Plan.
5-minute break? It's probably long overdue.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. See you on a few.
All right. Let's get back to the business.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So it's probably at this point, you guys weren't out there a terribly long time. Oh my gosh. Why am I getting feedback? I got feedback coming from somewhere.
Is it from me?
No, it's from my phone. Of course,
Or
it's
from
from my
Ed.
phone. Why would my phone be
I
on?
see Edwin going hot when he's
Me-
not talking every now and then.
Me too.
No, it was my phone. It's on my end. Anyways, so it's probably 10 o'clock Saturday morning, maybe 9:30, maybe 10, because you guys went early, but not
It'd be
too crazy.
Later than that, wouldn't it? Didn't we get there at 9:30?
Oh, I suppose. Maybe lasted an
Probably
hour.
10:30. Yeah.
Yeah, 10:30. And you guys have regrouped wherever you want to be. If it's
So
the
Denny's
hotel
somewhere.
or
Definitely
Denny's
Denny's,
car. Okay. Denny's. Moon's over my hammy.
So Agent Whiskey's got to call Sergeant Winslow. We
Yeah.
got to find out. We got to contact Sarah. I think that's our order of business.
We're not
Agreed.
going to get Bedore. We're going to let Bedore go.
No, we'll still get the door. I mean, it'll take them a little while to do it. And I figure that we
had 2 cars there, so we could just
We do.
have left one of the cars and some of the people.
I'll hang out there in the car. Oh wait, it's who's the two drivers are
Caneta and Hank.
Yeah.
Hank could give the door guys his card and say, "Call me when you're done, and we'll come and confiscate the door." That'll let us all go and have breakfast and
And
plan.
there's like a $20 bill under the card, right?
He's a cop. Get flash his badge.
All right,
That's what I recommend we do.
First order of business is to call Winslow.
All right. Call Winslow. Winslow.
Hey, Sergeant, it's Hank.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, you haven't got a personnel record yet, have you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were looking at what is this? Garrison. Is that right?
Yeah, Sarah Garrison.
Just have her
cop.
records. Yeah.
Does it say there why she left the force, and do you have any current contact information for her?
No, nothing in the records. But I was talking to an old partner of hers. I don't know. Do you know Moreno? Adrian Moreno?
Name's familiar. I probably only had cursory contact.
Yeah, detective. Let's see. There was Moreno, and I think Thomas. That was her partner. Moreno, Thomas, and Garrison. They were on a case at one point. Looks like some drug case, but nothing. I mean, there's a few other records here. This one just stood out because, I talked to him briefly. I talked to Moreno because here's the deal. I didn't realize they were all connected because Thomas had died and passed away in a shootout, and they were all in the same case at the same time. I think looks like Moreno produced a warrant, and there was a drug case, and it looks like some of the perps are some pretty bad dudes. Yeah. They were on it for like 2 months. It seemed to go bad. Thomas died in a shootout, and looks like there's some PTSD Garrison, but who of us doesn't have it, right? If they were shelling it out like M&Ms, it's kind of part of the deal, I guess. But that's about it.
Is there any contact information for Garrison?
There is, yeah. Yep. Let's see. Looks like she's still here in Chicago. And Rose Hill Apartments, 2399 North Clark Street, apartment 311, Chicago.
Is there a phone number?
Yeah. Let me see here. Just like, hold on a second. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, I think I got her number here. It's 505-555-1212.
Great. I owe you a couple of beers, Winslow.
Hey, I forgot to tell you. That kid. You do mentoring for?
Yeah, Grace.
Yeah. I think she got into some trouble, man. She reach out to you?
I haven't got a message or anything, although I haven't
Well,
checked.
nobody knows where you are.
Yeah, well, I've just got this cell phone.
Well, I don't know. Does she have this number?
Now I think of it, probably not. I better
She
check
got
my
picked up
voicemail.
for shoplifting, man. She dropped your name, but people weren't going easy on her.
All right, shit. I should be back in town next week.
Yeah, what time? Like what day?
I don't know yet. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay. What do you want me to do with the kid?
How egregious was maybe you can talk to the business owner.
She's picking up like $150 pair of sunglasses or something in one of the department store malls somewhere.
Please.
Yeah, it looked like the Terminator, gargoyles. Those Terminator-looking glasses.
Yeah. All right, they pressing charges.
Oh, they're kids, right? I don't know if I can. Apparently, it's not her first offense, so I don't know. I don't know if I can get her kicked.
All right. Well, anything you can do would be great. I will see what I can do when I get back.
All right. Sounds good, buddy. Let me know if you need anything. You know my number.
Yeah. Thanks, Sarge.
All right. Rubber side down, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Who's going to call Garrison?
Peter can do it. I think Hank can do it.
Any of us can
Dejesus
do it.
Yeah.
Not
But I
me.
mean, what's
Except for the professor.
what's
Except for the
the what's the angle? Should it be me as Chicago PD? Should it be a Fed?
Should it be a face like Dejesus?
Let's let Dejesus call.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
Give some-
sure for her PTSD, she's taking some form of medication.
Right.
Oh,
Go to
man.
work. Go to work.
All right. Dejesus will pull the phone over and dial in the number.
Ring, ring, ring. Click, click. Beep.
Hi, this is Donovan Dejesus. I represent Pfizer Incorporated. We are reaching out to you right now because we have reason to believe that you're because of you've seen some this is like HIPAA violations or something like that, right?
There's no HIPAA yet. It's okay.
Right.
No,
Oh,
that's-
okay. So
Yeah, you're clear. No HIPAA.
Your doctor has referred your case to us, and that you might be open to trying out some new medication that we're running out. You're a prime candidate for it, and your doctor has said that you might benefit it from it greatly. So if you could give us a call if you're interested in any of this kind of trial medication, you can reach me at 555-555-5555. I hope to hear from you soon. I think that this could benefit you greatly.
Just got it in.
All right.
Where'd you make that call from, DeJesus?
My cell phone,
Like in the car or outside the restaurant, or I'm not sure where we are right now.
right inside the restaurant.
Okay.
Looking at all of you guys while I was talking.
feed me. I don't know what to say.
We got
Are
her.
we going
Got her machine, guys. I don't expect to hear from her.
She doesn't call back. We need to call her and tell her it's about her kids.
Yeah.
We need to be direct with her.
So, Professor, you're the occult expert. What can you tell us about these witch balls?
So, you beat me to it. I would like to make an occult check, and I am pouring through my brain. I'm pouring through the notes I have for the last few things that I've dug up on anything about spirits and traveling and communication, things like that. Maybe traumatic things that happen to people. Now that I know some humans involved, I want to know if there's anything that sticks out in my brain.
Okay. Let's see. Gladstone. Why don't you give me an occult check? Okay. You're sitting there, everybody realizes something's weird because it's gone suddenly quiet. And Gladstone has no, if you guys are all together and he's paging through his journals and trying to think and write down things. And what you realize is that the globes aren't connected to anything related to the occult in this particular style, format, whatever. Like every time you do searches for it, it's like lawn ornaments, nothing, reflective, whatever. People, maybe there's some weird third party groups that are, tinfoil hat that think that they, deflect radio waves. But for the most part, you can find these things in any typical garden center. Like if they have garden gnomes and pink flamingos, they have these reflective balls.
So I almost think we're barking up the wrong tree pursuing that avenue.
You don't dismiss the fact that the pattern around the house is weird. Like it's obvious that it's from Chicago, a couple Chicago, or at least one
pattern. You mean specifically like the colors that Hank was writing down, or you just mean
No.
fact that they are
the fact that they have globes near them and nobody else around the neighborhood is in such a that they're so prominent in the location that they are. That's it.
Okay.
It's not location like you're like,
yes, I got it. Yep.
Could I just stare at this front yard and backyard and see? And then you're like, well, how far is that?
Well, proximity to their house, and as it wanes, the further we get. Totally got it.
Correct.
Correct.
That's it.
So I impart that information specifically to Hank because I know he was very involved with it. Perez did her recon, uh, and I'm drawing a house, and I'm drawing houses, and I'm drawing circles, and I'm checking with Perez like, all right, you said they stopped around here and this and that, and I look at Hank's notes with the colors and stuff, and I dismiss, like I cross out the word color, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with it, and but there is a reason, but I still don't understand why. They're definitely involved. There's definitely a reason. I just don't know why. There's nothing that I have learned or I can research that says
Correct.
why.
So if the shadow travels in mirrors or goes into the mirrors, it can go into the ball. Like you saw Dejesus, you saw the shadow in the mirror ball, and I saw the shadow in the mirror in the girls' room. So maybe it's just it's like a highway or something.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
uncertain. It might have been a shadow passing along behind me, but when I turned around, I did not see it. It was perhaps it only appears within a reflected surface.
And didn't you say you saw it going for the house, towards the house?
Yes, it was moving towards the house, as if it was
We
coming
saw
from
it.
without.
It was seen in the house, and I think not in a mirror going down the stairs.
That's right. I saw that.
Yep, I saw it
So
moving around in the house.
well, when I saw the girl talking to it, it was just hanging out in midair. So I feel like the mirror may be more of a, like, maybe it can go from one mirror to another without being noticed somehow. I don't know. It's strange.
All right, so looking at the maps of the yards and the fact that one of the houses has two, so would be a hole on the other side of the block on the back side of the Bernier house, but what other house would be missing a ball in any pattern?
Wait, guys, I got it. And I reach over and I grab all the toothpicks out of everyone's burgers, and I grab them out of the pickles, and I arrange the tater tots
And
on
they have
my plate.
the little ribbon on the end. One's
Yes.
yellow, one's blue,
I
one's
do.
red.
I take my half-eaten grilled cheese because, of course, everyone's eating burgers and I'm eating grilled cheese. But because I'm thinking right now, I'm not even thinking about my beef. And I move over and I got all the tater tots, and I take toothpicks and I'm like, I start taking them and I connect the tater tots together, and then I'm like, this is the Bernier house right here in the middle, and I have these are the balls, and if the creature is jumping between it, don't we just have to remove these balls or break these balls, and then
Smash
the
them,
creature can't get into the house?
maybe.
And then I pop the tater tot into my mouth as I take the toothpick out.
I don't have any reason to believe the creature's bad. I mean, the girl
we
was
don't know.
just talking to it, right? I mean, if she did get a little upset or scared or something, but maybe she promised not to tell. Maybe most of these creatures, it's got to be bad. What am I saying? The creature's bad. Okay,
So,
all right.
well, let's peel that onion again. We were investigating because of the scrape marks, like talon, like scratches on the door, which is dangerous, right? An animal, a creature.
Something, yeah.
So let's focus on that again. And then I look back to Hank. I'm like, where are we at with obtaining this door?
Yeah, so are the guys still working on the house?
Depending on how long you want to wait, they'll eventually stop and the door will be replaced, and they'll probably be taking it back to their place for disposal.
All right, so Hank will get out of the car and just sort of check on them, and when they appear to be close to finishing up, he'll approach them when they're in the truck.
Okay. All right. So at some point, the truck will start exiting the Bernier house and come down the driveway. And
Okay, so Hank will stop them when they get near the street.
okay, stop. Okay, are you in the car or are you outside?
No, I'm on foot.
Okay. Yep. They stop. What's up, buddy?
So he'll flash his badge.
Oh,
And
hey,
say,
what's up, copper?
Yeah.
Hey.
I'd like to take this door in for evidence.
Hey, we just replaced it, buddy. Like we didn't.
Yeah, I
we're
know.
not stealing
I
anything.
want the door you took.
Well, I mean, you want the door?
I want the door, please.
Looks at his partner across in the passenger seat. He's like, he wants the door. He wants the door. Well, all right. He wants the door. Guy gets out of the passenger seat. Clank. Rolls up. Where do you want it, Chief?
He'll just take it right there.
All right. Sounds good. But if the customer says anything, that's on you.
It's on me.
All right.
Thank you.
Leans it up against the like a wall or the structure there. Closes the back. It's like, oh, that's easy. Don't have to get rid of that thing.
Okay, so Hank will take the door and walk around the corner.
Have a good day, officer.
That's awesome. It's big old wooden.
Yeah.
I'll come
Front
help.
door, a heavy ass front door.
Yeah, I'll come help.
So in the trunk of the Crown Vic,
Ooh,
Nice.
might be
Hanging out,
might be,
backseat stand
yeah,
out.
it's gonna be
Backseat
hanging
down,
out
yeah.
quite a ways. They got big trunks, but
They got big
doors are
trunks.
pretty
You
long.
probably have to tie the trunk down, I would think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, you get it in the trunk of the Vic. It's some twine. Hope another
I'm
cop
kinda
doesn't pull you over without a red flag on the end. Nah, it's fine.
I'm kind of hoping the girl goes to play with her friend Sarah or goes to the playground or something like that.
Right. So what we
Although-
just said in the chat, Edwin, sorry to interrupt you, but it's basically more observation is what Gabe recommended on the house. And I was
Right.
thinking catch the girl alone, which is what you're talking about right now, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, rather than them leaving, we can see if she leaves. I was just adding on to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have more than just one science magazine. I have a subscription. So I was thinking I should write a note to Catherine in another magazine and place it somewhere that she would see it. And maybe that is how we can communicate, because she can't call me. I'm harmless. Hopefully she realizes that she knows that I know something. So if she does want to reach out, maybe I can write like, hey, stick the magazine in your newspaper mailbox that's underneath your regular mailbox. When newspapers were a thing way back when, and maybe we can communicate that way. And I'll just put like phrases like, "Are you okay? Do you need any help?" And
The
that's
shadow
it.
knows.
See, I do agree with Perez that maybe this is not the right tree. Maybe that is not the creature that made the mark on the door. I don't know. We have no proof that they're one and the same.
Dejesus agrees with that too.
So
Gotta be related somehow. It's too much weird.
sure, but maybe one is the result of the other.
Right.
Lupita says
Protecting or yeah. Go ahead.
maybe one unnatural creature noticed the other.
Yeah.
The one could be protection.
We need to
gotta
talk to Sarah
her.
and the kid.
No, and the kid.
All right.
Yeah.
So I poll everyone on what we write, in this simple note to Catherine that I'm going to
more
place
Curious about
somewhere.
where you're going to leave the magazine.
I was thinking that I think if we get on the side of the house, she has a window in that window. Well, I can prop the magazine against the window.
That's true. What she'd make her, she'll have to come outside and climb down in the window well, get the
Oh
magazine.
no, she can open the window. It's an egress
Oh,
window.
yeah. Wow.
She can open
it. Okay. All right.
They're made so that you can easily escape fire. So I think that's the plan. So I think we need to hash out exactly what I'm writing in this, and I will take suggestions.
I like your idea of telling her to leave it for us in the mailbox thing.
Yeah, that way we could just drive by
thing.
and we see the magazine in the newspaper mailbox. We could just grab it. because they're going to
Yeah.
be empty all day. Everyone grabs their newspaper in the morning. So,
Yeah.
any suggestions, anyone, on what I should specifically ask Catherine?
Maybe you look concerned, and if you want to talk, just leave me a note, and we'll figure it out.
So I'm going to start with: is
Can we meet
everything
you at the
okay?
playground?
I think you should tell her straight up that we know she's speaking to a shadow.
Exactly. Ask her, who is it? Does this have to do with your mother? Yep.
I didn't want to do that.
But I mean,
Edit that.
we also, what happens if the parents find this?
Yeah, well. So it
Yeah,
goes.
well, hey.
Maybe
Okay.
putting it in the window well is a better option.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's
going to
going in the window well.
see.
Then,
Okay.
Yeah. And
why
then
don't
for
she just
her,
put? She should just respond in the window well too.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Mhm.
We'll just have to work our way in and out of over
All
there.
right.
Okay, so I got, is everything okay? And I'm going to make it I. That way she doesn't feel like she's intimidated by a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Is everything okay? I know about the shadow. And then I have.
Can we talk?
Yeah.
You only have 21 words left on the message spell.
Know about the
Yeah.
shadow.
Can we
and,
talk? Pick a time at the local playground. I don't know.
I think we need to know about the shadow, right?
Right.
We want to
Yeah.
know. We need to
You
know:
could-
is the shadow good, bad, or ugly?
Right.
So
Are you
let's ask
afraid of it?
specifically about the shadow.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so you
Is
wanted to
everything
write you an
okay? I
answer.
know about the shadow.
Yeah, you don't want to discuss meeting because that's kind
Yeah,
of
no,
pervy.
and that's creepy with a kid. Like that's just.
So
That's not gonna happen.
I wouldn't say I know about the shadow. That sounds like a threat. I would just ask
Okay.
about the shadow. Is the
Okay.
shadow a friend of
Gotcha.
yours? Is
I
the
agree.
shadow dangerous?
Yeah, be matter of fact about it.
Yeah, it is the shadow. Yeah, 'cause then
Cool
we get yes
shadow
or no answers.
friend.
Is the shadow a friend?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Kids know the word friend.
Yeah.
So
And
is
then
everything
maybe
okay? Is
you
the
need
shadow a
help.
friend? And shit, hit the wrong button again. And I'm gonna put do you need help? That's
Yeah.
it, right? Simple
that seems
enough.
awesome.
We'll get some really solid answers from those 3 questions.
And do you want to say just leave this where you found it, or something, like you want to give her instructions on how to respond, or do you think she'll just do that automatically?
I think she's smart enough.
Okay.
I
So
think, if
the 3 questions you're writing are all
Yeah.
yes/no questions.
yeah.
You could say, is everything okay? Yes. Is the
Signal,
shadow
yeah.
a friend? Yes. Do you need help? No.
Right.
Give me your input. And what do you
Well, that's
get?
why
What
I
do you
feel
want
like
me to write?
that's why I feel like we need.
So it needs to be, who is the shadow?
Oh, okay.
How can we help you?
I'm still
I
gonna
feel
leave
like
is
we gotta
everything okay because that's like the opening, like I care about what's happening to you.
I don't feel like
pointing
we're
out,
gonna get
you're
anything
gonna
useful
get
in a
binary
written,
answers.
you gotta talk to her.
I like it better. I like who is the shadow. I like that one.
I like that a lot. No, that's good, but
She's gonna say Alec Baldwin.
yeah.
Yeah, who is the shadow and how can we help you? Or how can I help you?
Or do you need help? Yeah, I like, again, how.
How.
That's fine.
It's
Is
tough
everything
for
okay?
kids.
Who is the shadow? Do you
Stupid
need
lack of
help?
internet.
Again, whatever. We're good. I'm good. Perfect. Done. Put in the magazine. We got to go there. Who's the stealth person? Perez? Is that Perez? Yeah. So you can place this in the window well in daylight.
Okay.
Do we need another distraction?
She still has her flyers too, and she hasn't talked to them
Yeah.
yet, so she's got
Oh
cover.
yeah. Oh, perfect. And then you're by the window well because you were just looking at the grass and the mulching and just to get
So
an
I'm just
idea.
gonna walk in again, bold as brass, walk around to the side. It's like 6 feet down that window well, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Sean for a second. I think
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was like 3 or 4. It's usually not 6 feet
it was
deep
4 feet. Yeah.
for the window.
I don't know. He
But
was
whatever.
describing.
You got to jump
high
down
window.
into it, yeah. You could probably reach down and lean the magazine up against the window.
Okay,
So yeah. So you back, Sean?
I'm back.
Okay.
We gotta wrap it up though.
That's good.
So we'll do this. So you got the messages in the magazine.
Yep.
Perez is gonna deliver it.
Yep.
Same day.
Right now.
Okay,
And,
right now, which
and,
is like
and Lupita will support. She'll be Perez's ride. Lupita also has good stealth and athletics, so if this comes down to like running through quickly, we can do it.
okay.
Like 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mine
Sounds
is
Yeah.
good.
Denny's.
They
We
probably
scribbled
need
this
to-
out in Denny's.
Okay.
The adults need naps. They were awakened in the middle of the night.
So yeah, she's just gonna do the same thing. She's just gonna walk in, drop it down put it down the window well, and walk back out. And if someone stops her, we can play that.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. We can end it right there. Awesome job, guys.
Thanks, Sean.
This has been a Litterbox Studio production.